This is the emergency broadcast system. Stand by for further information.
Alright, we're streaming now, so no crazy AISRAEL talk or anything like that. No, I'm playing. We can talk about that. Who fucking cares anymore, bro?
What are they gonna do?
Dude, I can't spell. What are you talking about?
We're talking about Bibi Netanyahu, the Israelites, and they're fucking us. Fuck 'em. The Zionist regime. But alright, today we're here to talk about sobriety and addiction, alright? So we're just going to start off with this. We're going to go down from left to right. We're going to start with Mr. Jones Job. What is your biggest addiction? What are you doing to combat it? What's your vibe, Jones Job?
Well, I think nowadays, man, a lot of people struggling with the vaping, man.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, man.
You're a vapor, man. You're a bad vapor. You be stealing your girl's vape. I'm the same way.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's definitely something, man. Definitely something. But I don't know, man. I just think, when the time is right, something we're gonna try to get over together,
Yeah, that's one of those things. Like the air we breathe is easily the most valuable thing we got,
Yeah.
And smoking
Dude,
anything is bad
bro.
for that.
Speaking of that, I did some cardio yesterday, man, and dude, I was surprised. I challenged myself to run a mile. So I wanted to tell y'all boys about that, man. I was not really knowing what to expect, but I timed myself and I ran a 7-minute mile flat, bro.
Oh
I
yeah.
kind of surprised myself.
Super impressive.
Yeah, I'm still in shape, even though I'm an adult now and I don't run around like how I used to when I was a kid. But yeah, pretty decent shape. I was proud of myself for that. But yeah. I think everybody's struggling with something, and maybe even it isn't substance related. I think another thing that I would just want to point out would maybe be my phone, man. Not being on my phone all the time. Yeah. But, so yeah, I've been trying to do more mindful things lately. It's not on the phone, I got busted out my Sudoku book, and also been doing a little reading, man. Read the Demon Slayer mangas, and I just kind of enjoyed, man, just being in a book, man. Smelling the pages.
Smelling the flowers, brother.
Yeah, those pages, those fresh pages, man. Just walking in the Books A Million, dude, and the Joe Muggs coffee, bro. Sheesh. Dude, I used to go in there as a child, man, and they had a whole Thomas the Train thing, bro. So my mom would read or whatever, and I would go sit in the Thomas the Train thing and just watch Thomas the Train, bro. And I would sit in Thomas the Train and watch Thomas the Train.
Like core memory building right there as a kid.
Some serious Inception or something there.
And then, dude, I also, man, just ice cream, man. Dude, I love ice cream.
Interesting. That's
To
an addiction.
to an addiction standpoint, you feel like?
Dude,
You can't
sometimes,
control yourself?
I feel myself running to the store to get some ice cream. Man. I feel like a little bit of a fiend, or I'll leave the house at 9 o'clock to get some ice cream.
Word, bro.
Making a sketchy drug deal at the gas station. Have my pajamas on, buying some ice cream.
See if anybody, make sure nobody's seeing you grab the pint,
Addiction is addiction.
Not even the pint, bro. I'll grab one of them cookie sandwiches, bro.
Oh, word. Oh, those are fast. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes the pint, and I like that chocolate mess, dog.
All right.
Okay.
That's what I gotta say.
Shell, yeah, man. Hey, all right, next, my boy, Danny. Tell us about your experience. I know you got one of those heavy ones, so let it out, bro. Tell us what's up.
Yeah. So
your past experience, of course. I mean, you can talk about a little bit what you're doing now, but I want to hear about that deep stuff. You know, what hurt you? What put you there? You know.
Oh yeah, the deep stuff. I mean, I guess I don't know. My sort of addiction story like started as like a teenager, like 14 to 16 and all that. But that was really just mostly with like weed, and it's still a valid addiction. Hard to get out of. But by the time I was 18, that's when shit really kind of started hitting the fan. I remember by the time I was 18, I was on a daily combo. I would smoke meth every day, I would smoke fentanyl every day, and I was on a cocktail of benzos, usually like Xanax, Klonopin, and Valium. I would take all three together. And I remember, yeah, there was a while where I really didn't want to stop, but it eventually did get to a point where I was very skinny, severely underweight. I was like 100 pounds, and I'm like 5'8", 5'9". And I remember like specifically with meth and the blues too. Those were like both the hardest for me to stop doing. Like especially with meth. Like dude, I would flush it down the toilet because I hated it so much. I remember I would get like fucking like skin lesions and scabs and all this gross stuff going on, and like my mouth was always covered in sores, and I was very very skinny. And I don't know. Overall, like that was a very tough oh yeah, and the fucking shadow people, they kept fucking with me, dude.
Oh
They
yeah.
oh my goodness. I remember that like there was one pretty defining night where I had a girlfriend at the time, and I kept telling her like, "Oh, the shadow people, they said that you're going to leave me because we had sex and did drugs together, and you can't have love and drugs. You can only have one." And I remember she was saying like, "That's nonsense. That's not gonna happen. I'll stay." Blah blah blah. But then like we ended up getting into a pretty massive fight because I remember there was a night I had been smoking blues and doing Xanax and all that, and I had been like kind of passing out, and I would come back to consciousness with like my legs completely numb, and I was convinced like, oh shit, I'm gonna die in here. I gotta fucking get a hold of someone to check on me and call the cops in case I don't keep responding. And I remember I was talking to her, and she was like, I'm busy right now. I'm with a friend. Don't talk to me. And I'm like, I'm fucking dying. Start spamming her. She gets real mad, dumps me. Very, very ugly. She called me a pussy and told me to get Narcan. I was like, what? Holy And then she like posted me on her story and shit. And I remember that was a very defining one. And after that day, I was like, oh, I gotta get clean. And I tried to do it by myself at first. I remember I went to my mom and I was like, hey, I need help getting rid of these drugs. I'm really scared. That I remember I was really worried about like my feet and hands because of the vasoconstriction. The blood doesn't get all the way to your feet and hands all the time, so they were always really cold. And I was worried that I would have to get them removed because I remember this nurse was telling me like, yeah, some people they have to get amputations because of their, the stimulant use and all that. And yeah, like that point was real tough. I remember I reached out to my old sponsor from my teenage outpatient time. He came over, took all my stuff, got it out there. And yeah, I did like the at-home withdrawing thing for a while. I lived on red Gatorade, grapefruit to eat, and I would binge watch this show called Superstore, which, yeah, binge watching the show is definitely helpful for the withdrawals to an extent. I remember there was a point in those withdrawals where I had like 2 grams of mushrooms, and I was like, "Oh, this will help." And I lemon tech them, and honestly, I was just withdrawing, but I was also tripping on mushrooms. It was
Damn.
kind of a weird mix. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I remember at that point, I was like, oh, the withdrawals were so bad. So I went into my little stash or whatever, scraped up a bunch of shit. I had a little bowl of like meth in it and some weed. And I remember at that point, like, oh, I kind of like broke my brain for a sec, which like getting a little off topic. Long story short, um, I ended up getting sort of an ultimatum from the parents. They were like, hey, you gotta fucking stop this shit. You gotta go to rehab or you gotta get out the house. You gotta leave. So, I decided to go on to California. Fortunately, I got to go to a pretty nice detox rehab, very cush. But yeah, I got out of there though, and usually they have you stay there for like 30 days, 20 to 30 days. But little did I know that apparently all of these detoxes, they also like to make you go to an after program. So I had to go to Orange County and I lived in a sober living home for a while. We did oh dude, the NA meeting, Narcotics Anonymous. I don't know if y'all are familiar with any 12-step programs, but there was a point in time where that was the only thing I looked forward to every day because it was
Mm-hmm.
almost like the only thing that felt like home. Because like before going to this other state, first time living somewhere else, I had a long history of going to these meetings, like the I think it was Joe or I forget who, and they mentioned the smell of the books and the pages. There was something
Yeah.
about pulling up to the meeting, like, oh, you can smell the books, just flipping through the coffee in the air too. It's like, I was doing that yesterday. I have this library book. I've been smelling the pages. Ooh, it puts you there.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking yeah, I got out. I eventually convinced my parents. I was like, please let me come home. Like, I'll go to rehab over there. So I
Now, where
came
was
back.
home, man? I hate to cut you off, but where was home? Like, where are you
Ari-
from, man?
Arizona, so like near
Okay.
Phoenix, that
Okay.
place. But yeah, I eventually was able to come on back home, and I had to continue going to another outpatient rehab when I was home, and yeah, it honestly sucked. I was smoking the Black American spirits because that's how down bad I was, and yeah, it was very miserable. I remember I was like I had some Klonopin that I was keeping for like, oh yeah, one day. And I remember it got to a point one day I just said, fuck it, I'm done with this life. I don't want, like, I don't know, the whole idea of the goal of the NA person is just, oh yes, just abstinence and to go to meetings, all blah blah. I could not stand that. I was not down with that. So I remember I had a friend that was doing deliveries and I was like, yeah, bro, come pick me up. And I was like, yeah, I went up to my parents and I was like, yeah, I'm really sorry that I wasn't the son that y'all wanted, blah blah blah. I'm gonna leave now. And then yeah, I went off. I took like four Klonopins and I got in the car with some randos. Ended up doing deliveries with them. And the guy that I was with was like a friend that I had let stay at my house before, and he was saying like, "Oh yeah, you can stay at my house for as long as you want." But there was a point where they had to drop me off at like a playground to go do something, and then they just kind of disappeared. And I was like, "Shit." So I went and found this drainage tunnel that me and my friends used to go to, and I slept there. And yeah, I don't know, kind of had a little homeless stint for like a week or two, but eventually I had a couple of friends that I was hanging out with, and they kind of had a little intervention time. They were like, you gotta fucking, what are you doing? You gotta get right. So went back home, got the whole. They said, all right, you gotta go back to detox. I'm like, fine. I ended up, dude, and actually with the addiction stuff, so yeah, that night before I was off back to detox, the same guy that supposedly was going to let me stay at their house, they popped up again and they're talking about, we need a ride. Can you give us a ride? And I had another friend that was hanging out and I like convinced them to get them to give a ride because they traded me the legendary blue M30s with the fent in them. And I was like, oh, yes, I need that very much. So, start smoking those a bit. And I brought those with me on my car ride to rehab, a long little road trip. And on the way there, kind of fucked. There was a point where we stopped by the McDonald's during Grimace's birthday. The
Oh
Grimace shake
God,
was on the
no.
menu at the time. And that whole meme with the Grimace shake, the people
Oh
just
yeah,
fucking
dude.
dude, I
Those are
that
great.
fucking happened to me. I went in the bathroom and I started hitting the foil. Fucking one sec, I'm hitting the foil. The next second, I'm waking up to a line of like paramedics and the cops and my fucking parents out there crying. I'm like, what the hell? And they were asking me like, "Oh, are you trying to get high or did you try to kill yourself?" I was trying to get high, man.
I
And they were
just
talking
drank the
about like, "Yeah,
grimace shake,
yeah,
that's all.
yeah, the grimace shake, bro. Yes, the fucking grimace shake." But dude, they ended up like taking me to this like little hospital place to kind of watch over me for like a little bit. They put like a little IV in me. And then I was back on my way. But dude, they didn't. I had like two more pills like in my little pocket that they didn't find, but they took my lighter and my foil. So fucking later on in one of the other gas stations, I stole a lighter, stole some of this, and I was able to keep on smoking. But I ran out along the way. But luckily, when we get to San Diego, which is where I went to detox, we decided to stop at a wing stop. So we pull up to the wing stop, and I'm like, all right, and then I just run away. I run away like. Phew. My mom's like, "Hey, where you going?" I'm like, "Nah, I'll be right back." I run over. I went to this Wiener Schnitzel, and there was some homeless people out front, and I approached them, and I'm like, "Hey, you got blues?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, you look nervous." And I was like, "Yeah, I had a bad day, man. I'll give you my cigarettes for the blues." And I
What
ended
the
up
hell?
getting one, I think. Yeah, he traded me one. I went over, smoked that one. That was my last blue, and then I got picked up by the like rehab director guy, brought me in, and yeah, I fucking ate my Wingstop. and then I threw up everywhere. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm back. I've been here before, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, ended up going to another sober living, lived there for a bit, was eventually able to, I think I mentioned before that I had a group therapy with my family where they're like, okay, if you can get through this stint, come back, fine, we'll let you do the fucking weed. Just stop doing all the hard drugs. Because like I don't know, that it started off when I was 14. All the drama was just around weed, but eventually kind of wore them down. But yeah, weed's a big part of my life. But because of that, I'm not accepted into any NA meetings. There was actually a period of time when I came back home and I still like NA meetings. The 12 steps were still very special to me in my heart because back in the day when no one would even talk to me. It was actually very well. Actually, yeah, a part of the story I forgot to mention when I was really down bad, strung out on blues and meth and all that. There was a certain YouTuber that I got into contact with. Their videos are still up here on YouTube. They went by the name Moolah Moon or Bryce Moolah Moon, and I ended up chit chatting with them. I was telling them about how I was addicted, not doing great, and it turned out that they lived pretty close to me. And I ended up going to a meeting with them. He introduced me to his home group, all of that, and I remember while I was off at rehab, I would message them every now and then, like, "Oh yeah, I'm this amount of days clean," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I want to meet you when you got a lot of time, so I can tell people at the meetings, like, oh yeah, I knew this guy when he couldn't, blah blah blah." I eventually came back to that meeting like a year after all that had happened, and I was expecting to see them there. But I remember I went to the meeting. The meeting ends, and I'm talking to some people after smoking, and I start mentioning like, oh yeah, I actually was introduced to this group last year by one of the home members, and they asked, oh, like who were they? And I was like, oh yeah, their name was Bryce, and then they get kind of serious and like, oh yeah, he passed away. And I'm like, what? And it turned out that they killed themselves. And then I go on their Instagram and there was like a suicide note and it was talking about all this stuff about like how the world's a horrible place and this and that and haven't enjoyed life since this age, blah blah blah. What I don't know. It was a long note. But the thing about this note that sucks is he was bringing up some valid ass points that I can't really argue with. So I don't that kind of did mess with me a bit because I remember when I was all strung out, I looked up to them so much. I remember, they would pull out the NA book. They'd be like, "Yes, this book, it'll save your life. If you work the steps, it'll work if you work it." But it didn't really work for them. I don't know. And I remember I ended up going to this one other rehab or no NA meeting place that was nearby, and I started going there. I eventually made one friend there that I used to go to with, but I don't know. I missed from when I was living in San Diego. There was like all the people that I was in like the outpatient rehab with. We were all pretty close. We would all see each other, so I always like had a squad, to go to the meetings with. But now I'm back in Arizona. Like I was just going by myself a lot of the time. I would try to talk to people about stuff, and you can have good surface level conversations, and people are nice. But like I don't know the stuff I was talking earlier, like before I think we even started this, like all the psychedelic research stuff. Psychedelics have been a huge part of my recovery story. They've scared me straight quite a few times. I remember there was one time I broke through on some acid and I realized that I had killed myself with drugs millions of times before in a past life and that I was doomed to repeat the cycle over and over again. And I was telling this one psychedelic lady that, and she was saying like, "Oh yeah, you're realizing samsara, the reincarnation wheel. You're trapped in the loop over and over and over again." Which hey, those experiences are very powerful and meaningful and help a lot. But saying that to someone in NA, yeah, they're not down with that. So like, yeah, at this point, I stopped going to NA the last time that I went to an in-person meeting. It was when I got 6 months off of fentanyl and meth, and I was real proud of myself. So I went over to the meeting, and it was funny. I was crying and telling the people like, I don't even know why I fucking come here, dude. Like no one even talks to me. Like this, that, all. But like, I'm proud, I guess. Fucking, I don't. But yeah. after all of that stopped going, the very, very last time I ever went to, I went to a Zoom meeting, which was actually the most recent December time, because December is when the friend I was talking about passed away. So I was feeling all sentimental. And I joined this one online meeting, and, it gets to my turn to share. And I start telling the story of like my friend that, introduced me to the meeting and it turned out they killed themselves. But before I could even finish the story, they were like, "Yeah, we're kind of out of time, but yeah, keep coming back." And I was like, "Okay, yeah." And I was just done with that. I don't know. They say a lot in NA. Oh yeah, keep coming back. But they also say the thing like, "Oh, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results." But keep coming back though. Keep coming back. But yeah, I stopped doing that. Kind of doing just things on my own now, like. I do my ketamine therapy once a month. I smoke weed on a somewhat regular basis. Although, ideally, was quitting that one day would be, I'd be happy to,
It's in the
but
cards,
I don't. Yeah, but I don't know. Just the thing is like, yeah, one thing the Sexton Space guy always talks about is, yeah, when like a recovering fentanyl addict is in NA and they say something like, "Oh, I want to try out medical cannabis, or I want to try going to an ayahuasca retreat, or this, that." Always you will get shunned like you're just trying to go relapse again, like, "Oh, you're just switching it for another drug." I remember that. And like the thing is, like, as a fentanyl addict or whatever, that your NA people, that is your support system. That's all you got. So like when you say something like, "Oh yeah, I want to try weed," to them that's just as bad as doing fentanyl again. So in your mind, like, "Oh well, if everyone's gonna excommunicate me and just throw me aside because I'm smoking weed, well, I might as well smoke the fentanyl because I'm yeah, that sort of thing." And yeah, they would not accept me or see me as an active recovery. But I don't know. I feel like there is something to be said about the fact that I have like 3 years off meth and fentanyl when I had to smoke that every 2 hours just to not get dope sick.
dude. No,
Um,
you're winning. Don't
uh,
let anybody say you're not.
yeah, no, thank you. Which something cool, which I hope to build upon this. Which yeah, like recently, the other week, I went to that psychedelic Arizona psychedelic meeting conference at the park, and everyone circling up, which a lot like an NA meeting, and everyone's in a big circle. People share, talk about that stuff. But I can actually talk about mushrooms without it being a quote unquote war story or whatever.
Dude,
Um,
yeah,
but
that's why we
yeah, I
got to get
think.
on with the NA shit, bro. We need like
Oh
to
yeah, dude.
we need to evolve things like NA and AA. They need an evolution at this point, you know.
No, for real. They're actually, yeah, the Sexton Space guy I mentioned, I keep mentioning, I never joined it or looked into it, but they run like a alternative recovery sort of thing where like things like plant medicine is accepted and that sort of thing. But yeah, definitely. I would love to potentially be a part of that someday. In the past, I've thought about going to meetings and that stuff again, just purely because like I know I could be a positive light in other people's lives. And I remember when I was going to those meetings, the number one thing that I wanted in the whole world was just for someone to talk to me like a friend. Not coming up to you saying like, "Oh, do you have a sponsor yet? Are you working the steps? Are you doing this?" No, like how are you? Good to me, like I don't know,
Yeah,
a
it's
genuine
very
human
robotic
connection.
nearly. Like the whole
Yeah,
process is, it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
they
no. Which
process you to go back to work. It's like the process is solely to go back to the matrix or whatever. It's not part of spiritual evolution. It's so you can get back to that square one. That's how I view it
yeah,
sometimes.
to be a
But,
functioning cog.
there's definitely some other options, though, out there, and I think what
Things
y'all
like
are saying
this.
is important. It would be good to start, your own thing that is, more centered towards that. A spiritual, rather a spiritual journey.
Yeah, it's basically like NA puts a cap on it, and what I'd like to do is to take the cap completely off. You know, like of healing. You know, they put a cap on healing. All right, oh, you did the 12 steps, you did this, you did that. No, there's a whole nother fucking layer of like experience out there that like 90% of humans have never seen. You know, when it comes to like psychedelics and stuff like that. And not everybody can take the shit, of course, you know, but they're, you know, people that, you know, have been through some shit, you know, they could probably either benefit from it or go crazy. There's like it's really bipolar, you know, so that's why it's hard also to get around those things, because people do go crazy from taking the shit. It's no mystery, you know, people lose their minds often from psychedelics, you know. It's just a really hard one. It's a really hard one, because like,
Yeah.
you
Which,
can
another.
hope that it's accepted widely eventually, but like there's just a lot going on there that just people aren't quite ready for, but I believe we're making our ways there, you know.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Making
hey,
our
The
way.
Renaissance.
The psychedelic renaissance, Sunday service.
Yeah, man. Welcome to Sunday service. We want to hear from somebody else, man. Elijah, you want to maybe talk about some of your experiences with addiction?
Yeah, man. I think first, I mean, dude, I want to one more time. Danny, that was your name, correct? Daniel, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I want to thank you for sharing, bro. That's a lot of stuff you definitely shared, and like,
Yeah.
you know, it's really not easy for people to talk about going, because that's like, bro, that's, you know what I mean, bro? It's one thing to have a problem with something. It's another thing to be like having to do something every 2 hours and not be sick, bro. It really is something big to celebrate being 3 years off that. So, dude, just
And
want
dude,
to
the
take that
running
time to say
away
that.
from
Big
Wingstop
ups, big
story, and
ups.
like
Yeah.
You
it
know,
just goes to show you how powerful an addiction can be, man.
And how powerful
I
the
really
human is
appreciate
too,
y'all.
bro. The human in the
yeah,
addiction.
of course.
To overcome that.
Yeah, man. So I just wanted to say that real quick before I start.
Yeah, thank you all for
Yeah,
listening.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
brother.
course. But thanks for sharing.
Absolutely.
But I think personally for me, man, the addiction side of stuff for anything other than really weed for the longest time was more so just like I think a lot of that stuff just stemmed from kind of running from reality that you lived in, right? So there was never like a specific right thing. It was just whatever I had my hands on for a long time in my childhood. I just try to fucking get whatever I could, just be able to kind of like check out, bro. And I think it's just, I think a big portion of that, right, is just kind of almost how he was feeling at the end of, or in the big midst of his addiction, is just the fact of like, without a large feeling of like community or people to talk to, it's very hard to get over stuff, right? Because if you don't feel like you can be honest with people about what you're doing, even to try to cope from some of the worst stuff or anything like that, it makes it, might as well do whatever, right? If I can't talk to you about a little bit, I might as well do whatever I want to do then, because it's all just as bad to most of these people. And that stuff can be really difficult, dude. But I think today, dude, like we're talking about modern day Elijah, worst thing for me, bro, is just like the daily use of weed. Like I know that it's beneficial, can be beneficial for some people, right? But it's just, I feel very much like it robs me of a lot of my opportunities that I get in the day to day. Because like me, when I'm fully sober, bro, when I'm not smoking any weed or anything like that, I am a very, very extroverted, outgoing. I'm just like my dad in the sense that, bro, if I'm sitting there in a line for too long, I'll start talking to people next to me. Right? The moment I start smoking weed, bro, and I go out of that, it's like, bro, what can I have on me that has music playing so I don't have to fucking pay attention or interact with people? And like, I'll go out with my big old over-ear headphones on, bro, and even if there's nothing playing on them, I'll have them bitches up just so then I'm like not having to interact with anybody that I don't want to have to interact with. And I don't know, I feel like, at least for me personally, dude, I feel like that robs so much substance out of my day, right? Like the day just becomes a lot more mundane when you're not going and interacting with, it's like a game, right? Like if you took a game that's like one of these larger RPG games that has its main set of quest activities, right? Like the main quest shit. And then like there's all the side quests, and half the time, most of the lore and experience and crazy stuff happens in the side quests. You know what I mean? Like, if you just ran through half these games only ever running whatever the main mission is all the time, you're never going to get to experience everything that there is to actually appreciate it. Right? And I
it's like
think that
fuck around
that's
and
the
find
best
out.
way I can explain it. That's the best way I can explain how I feel like weed affects me on that, is I feel like it robs me of my side quest. And
Yeah, I
that
love
robs
those
me of
nights, man.
substance.
I love those nights where I'm just like, how did I end up here? You know.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
man.
clean my
But
room.
it's been a good time.
But then I
Dude,
got
the
high.
first time I met Morrow was kind of like that, man. We were over at Mason's house in Colorado, and we're just like, what am I doing here? But this is a good time, you know.
Yeah, man. Wasn't that for like the was that for like the crawfish thing that he did, or?
No, it wasn't that. It was July 3rd. We went tubing
Oh,
that day.
yep.
It was the day I
Oh,
met
yeah, I
Morrow.
remember that day.
That was great.
I
Oh
remember
God,
that
no!
day.
Elijah definitely remembers
Yeah,
that day.
I remember that day for sure. That was a good day, brother.
Shorty
Wait,
caught him
what? Oh,
cheating or
Yeah,
man.
something. I
not
don't
a good
remember.
day, brother. That
Bro,
was.
what happened, Elijah?
Oh man, we got to get into that, I guess. All right. So this
Real quick.
actually, this is actually a pretty decent segue, right? Because I feel
Yeah.
like this is another thing. If we're not talking about substances, but just a larger,
Women.
I'd say, addiction is lust.
Yes.
All right, I feel like lust is bad, dude. And for like, I honestly, like, as much as that was a very bad situation, it was also a situation that forced me to, dude, I went to therapy after all that and fixed a lot of deep-seated problems that I had in my life that I wasn't really aware where they're coming from. But for a long time, and I think, dude, I dealt with a lot of it. A lot of it came from relationships is like, bro, I would almost self-sabotage, right? Like, I would get into a relationship, and then I would convince myself that they're going to leave me at some point, so I might as well go find the next thing to move on to whenever they do, right? So I would constantly be in a relationship, but also be talking to other girls on the side to be able to plan the escape if everything went wrong. Well, I got caught talking to other girls in the middle of that.
Yeah, she was on your phone, right?
Yeah, I left my phone in the car, right? Because you're all going tubing, and I wasn't trying to like leave it or bring it with me and risk it getting fucked up. Well, then she comes to pick us up. You seen that face? I was like, oh man, fuck. And all that went
Man, I
down.
remember that now. That's crazy. Sorry.
Yeah, that
That was the day we
yeah.
met, Morrow. It was great, man.
That's crazy. I remember
I
her
had a
like
great day.
mad and stuff. And we were waiting for you to come get us, bro. Tubing. That's crazy.
Yes. So that's how all that went down, right? And but like I said, man, because of that, I came out of that a better person, dude. I went and got therapy about all that stuff,
That's good.
figured out where a lot of that shit was coming from, and dealt with that. So, I can show up more whole in future relationships. I'm definitely, that's one of those things I got to live with the regret of the stuff that I did. But if I didn't do the stuff that I did, I wouldn't have learned the lessons I've learned. So
Exactly. Fuck around and
Yeah.
find out.
Well,
Hey,
hey,
dude,
anybody
last-
else, man, want to talk about
Thank
their
you for
experiences?
sharing, Sir Elijah. It's Morrow's turn for sure, and then I'll run up. What's up, Mr. Morrow? Tell us about
Good morning,
it.
everybody.
Good morning. Good Sunday.
So, yeah. For me, my experience with addiction, it was a very. It really lowered my self-image. It really made me feel like it's difficult. The difficult thing about addiction is like you're already in a low point, and then when you fail to get past your addiction again and again and again, it's like you're digging yourself deeper and deeper, and your self-image and your own like self-respect just continues to go down, and it makes it harder and harder to quit each time. And that's definitely something that I struggled with, because not only was like my image getting shattered in my own eyes, it was getting shattered in the eyes of the people that I loved around me. So like as you guys know, I was going through a pregnancy. Like it was me and my significant other at the time, and everyone was like kind of looking at me, waiting for me to get on my shit and fix my life. But for me, all I was worried about was the stress and running away from the stress, and I didn't really register in my mind like, holy shit, dude, you're responsible for somebody else. You're responsible for a life. Like you're gonna be a father now. It's not about you. And it took me a while to get past that, but eventually I did. But I didn't let go of the addiction because I could make it work. And and it wasn't until, you know, I decided to take that chance on myself, like decided to realize that it affects me in different ways, and you can't, even though you're able to function and make rent and you know, pay your bills or do whatever, it still affected me in ways that I didn't like. It affected my personality. It made me quick to be irritable. It made me
And what
like,
was your drug of choice?
my drug of choice was cocaine. You know, like stimulants in general. Um, and it just makes you just an angry person. And at one point I realized like this is not who I want to be. Like I don't want my daughter to grow up around an angry, paranoid person. And you know, that personality cost me my relationship with my significant other at the time, which I'm still dealing with the emotional damage of that, you know, like, and the worst part is I have no one to blame. Like I can't point at someone or something and be like, it was their fault. Like it's no, it was all on me. It's all my fault, and I have no one to blame. And that's the worst part. Like it sucks. It really sucks because it'll take your life away from you, and there's really nothing you can do except for quit. But that's the most difficult thing to do. But it's not until you're left with no other option but to quit, then you're like, hey, you know what? It's time to do this. But yeah, that's kind of how it went for me in the regard of like my heavy addiction. But recently, you know, I stopped smoking weed. I'm trying to get past that, and and like Elijah was saying earlier, you know, it does take away from you. And the way that I like to look at it is like it takes away your soul. Like it takes away your drive. It takes away your motivation to go seek the next best thing, the next big thing for yourself. Your journey. It takes away your ability to enjoy things without it, like your ability to just sit there and be present. It takes away your ability to do all those things. And like those are like little things in the moment that you might notice, but you don't really notice until you like realize maybe like a year or some time after, you're like, man, where would I be if I wasn't like this? Like how much further would I have been in this journey we call life if it wasn't for the fact that I'm holding myself back continuously every single day? And it also just it's like a coping mechanism, especially the weed. You know, like you're just using it to kind of get through your day, and you're not really like enjoying your day. You're not really enjoying life. You're not really questioning the things that you should be questioning, and being like, man, I like this, I like that, or really giving appreciation to the little things. You're more so like, man, when is this gonna be over so I can go take a toke, man? Like this is lame. And it really steals a lot from you and your ability to offer to others. And that's the biggest thing for me, is my ability to offer to others, because when I'm not fully myself, I feel like I'm just this negative thing, this negative person. Like I'm not really being the whole individual that I know I am, that can provide a laugh or provide a smile or maybe just an ear or a shoulder to lean on. No, I'm instead having to be that person that needs the shoulder or needs the laugh. And now I'm taking away from the group that I'm in rather than giving. And that to me is unacceptable. So I, you know, recently had to quit all that, and it's going well. So yeah, yeah.
Beautifully said, my boy. Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Wow,
thank
man.
you.
So, dang, man. Yeah, I mean, much respect for you, man, and just doing that for your daughter, man. And I think sometimes that's what having kids can do for some people. Is make them tighten up. And I'm glad that you finally got around to that, man, because I really I view you highly, bro. And I'm just really glad you were able to overcome that for your daughter, especially, man.
Thank you, Jones. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, brother.
Um. So I guess that leads us to Nate. So you want
We
to
could
just
do
kind of
Costa
talk about?
first, you know. Costa, you in here, right? We gotta save the worst for
Yeah, yeah,
last.
Oh, oh,
yeah, yeah. Good
there
morning,
you go,
brothers.
Costa, man.
Silent observer.
What's up, my brother?
You
Brother
want to speak on
Costa,
some
Jones.
times you struggled,
brother Jones.
um, brother Costa?
Uh, you talking about like addiction?
Yeah, you and
Yeah, just
Morrow were in
Yeah.
this bitch together. You know.
be a little
Uh,
vulnerable about that.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I would
man.
watch y'all
Shit.
boys.
I just stepped out, but I mean, I kind of caught the
You know,
tail end of what Mara was talking about.
we could maybe not speak about it for Costa. I kind of didn't think about that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I could talk about some
Um,
stuff, man. I haven't really had like crazy, I'd say, drug addictions, right? I've dabbled a little bit here and there, but I
It's
think
not all about drug addiction either, bro.
yeah,
Addiction is
exactly.
addiction.
So I
It's
think
about
that
addiction.
that's what I was about to say is the addiction that I've struggled with the most in my life for sure has been nicotine. And like it's hard as a man to admit this because it's very weak, right? But porn, man, porn is
Word.
like a wicked addiction that I've dealt with, and like
Nah,
it's
we can all relate to that one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
it's a hard one to fucking admit to for sure, but like it's definitely and as it was something that initially came up in life, right? It was never something that I thought could be so detrimental, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
there would be times where like I'm in like I'm at work or I'm just in a situation. It's not sexual whatsoever, and it's like life, just your day to day life, right? And then sexual thoughts would just cross my mind, and it's just because it's like brain rotted from porn, and it's like I worry that that could lead to intimacy issues. I haven't really experienced it yet, but yeah, dude, there was definitely times in my last relationship where it's like so weird to say, right? Because it's like what, but there were times where I'd rather have just gone and like beat my shit than fuck my girlfriend, And
Wow.
it was yeah, dude, it's crazy. But there was just times where I was like, I'm not trying to listen to her talk right now. And I could just go deal with that shit myself, And I think that there were times where that kind of she never caught me, but there were definitely times where like I felt really bad about it, dude, and
The post
there's
nut
still
clarity.
yeah, absolutely,
Oh, bro.
fucking absolutely. And
Yeah.
bro, there's been like fucking times where I'm like, yeah, I can go a day without it. And like I've gotten a lot better with it lately because I've consciously put that effort into it. But if I don't care to not do it,
Try.
I'll do that shit. I'll do that. Yeah, exactly. If I don't put that effort into not trying, I'll beat my shit every day, bro. Sometimes twice a day. And it's it's so like widespread that it's almost normalized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sexual
And it's
activity, man.
yeah, bro. And it just becomes kind of sad at a certain point, dude, And on top
Yeah.
of all that, dude, I know I'm fucking with my testosterone as well.
Oh,
And
dude,
so,
that seed is powerful, bro.
yeah,
Going a
bro.
single week without busting a nut will have you feeling like God.
Like a fucking different beast and the same
Semen
animal.
retention, bro. Semen retention.
That shit is real, man. But like the fact that like I gotta praise myself for that, like damn, dude, you didn't beat your shit for a week. Good job. It's like, and that's like, I think that as well as nicotine are the two things that I've never really been able. The two addictions really struggled to beat. Like, and yeah, I'm still kind of fighting those battles.
Hey,
Now,
and the
Coach, do you want
fight
to talk a little bit
goes.
about South Korea and just kind of being in that environment?
Oh yeah, dude.
That culture,
Uh,
struggling with that?
sure. So in the I was in like a interesting situation where I wasn't just the Korean culture, right? There was a mix of Korea and the army culture. You know what I'm saying? That is a total different breed, bro. It's just like this horny ass fucking culture, dude. And like everyone's trying to fuck, everyone's trying to drink, and like come weekends, bro, there's nothing to do, man. Like you can go drink, you can go fuck, you can go eat. And bro, you take like you can go to the massage parlor right off post. You're not supposed to go, right? But you go to the massage parlor right off post. Boom, swipe your card, $100. They accept credit cards. You know what I'm saying? Get your shit stroked,
Wait,
and
did
then
you try it?
try it. Oh my goodness, I was a regular.
So that's where all your money was going.
Not always, not always. I was honestly, I was not as bad as a lot of other people were, but like, because
Crazy.
it's funny to say, right? But sometimes, because you don't know who's coming in to fuck you.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? So you pay that shit, and then yeah, dude. But on top of that, bro, these Korean girls were going, man. They were going, and especially if it was harder for me because I'm Asian, and they got that everywhere. But they love their white and black man, dude. But regardless, they were going, and that it. I felt kind of guilty, right? Because like it was also out. It was just like it got to a point where I was fetishizing these women. You know what I mean? I'm like, ABGs, you know. And then it's just like dehumanizing to some girls at a certain point because you're just like, yeah, I'm trying to fuck this girl. I'm trying to fuck this girl. And then you do fuck the girl, you know, and then you're just like, all right, well, I'm not
Next.
satisfied. Yeah, precisely, you know. So it feels disrespectful, and it is. But
And then you
yeah,
just think of like, you know, perhaps what these women are going through.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm sensitive to feelings, so there are times like fucking, you know, what I'm saying where I'm in, and I'm just like, damn, bro, does she want to do this?
Or is it
But
literally just me?
yeah, yeah, dude. And so I think Korea was fun for me, but I feel like that shit was not beneficial for my fucking personal life whatsoever,
Yeah.
bro. It honestly ended up working out really well for my career. I did a lot there, and like I got decorated in some awards and shit that actually really helped me now, right? But yeah, I wasn't able to make lots of progress personally.
Hey, it's the trade-offs we make, you know. Personal
Yeah,
progress isn't limited to just your, you know, your issues, you know. Like
for sure,
you're
man.
working
Just
on like, you know, many different realms and levels here.
oh yeah, I low key, bro. I'd even go as far as to say that there is time where like I could have been considered addicted to food, man. You know, food is an addiction in and of
Yeah,
itself as
yeah.
well, bro. Like I'm just like, yeah, I don't need it. Well, I'm gonna eat it, and that was just such a mindset in Korea where we were just eating anything and everything because it was so cheap as well, bro. You know, I would go to all you can eat barbecue right off base, $13, dude. Just eat that shit up, and
Yeah.
That
that's why that
actually
shit.
reminds
Gluttony. It's one of those seven deadly sins, motherfucker.
I'm telling you, bro, and like one because of how often I was doing it, it was getting to my money, and two, your boy definitely put on weight. But since I've been here at Bragg, bro, I've dropped 12 pounds since I left Korea,
Oh yeah.
Oh
which is
shit.
crazy.
Hasn't been
Yeah,
even
dude.
that long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
precise.
the
That's what I'm
South will do
saying,
it
dude.
to you.
I'm telling you. Well, my thing is, I don't eat out. I cook everything I eat. Except last night, I got drunk and had some cookout. That shit smacked. I can't lie.
Saturday night, you
But
know.
Another
yeah,
Southern man.
yeah, dude. But yeah, man. Just
That's
still
what's
trying
up.
to fight my battles, even when I don't talk about it. So thank y'all for allowing me the platform to talk about it and hearing me
Yeah.
out, man.
Heck yeah, bro.
Cool
That's what this
Pleasure
is
to meet
all
you, man.
Thanks for
about, Bubba.
sharing.
This
That's
is
right.
all
Brother
about.
Nathan, is there anything you'd like to share?
Brother
Brother
Nathan.
Nathan's gonna pass it to Danny. Other
Oh, brother
Danny.
Danny.
The Daniel Sergeant Goopington. It's your turn, my brother. Brother Goop. Brother Daniel.
All ears, brother Danny.
Brother Goop.
Oh, I'm sorry I left you, Nate. I went to go charge my phone and lay in bed for a second, and then I kind of ended up falling asleep.
Dude, you're good. We just started and shit. We really was just preparing and talking other shit. But hey,
Hell yeah.
you got the floor,
Right
brother.
now, uh, right now I'm just making breakfast. But what are we talking about though?
We're talking
Addiction.
about your issues, your addictions. Doesn't have to be limited to drugs, you know.
Hmm. Recently, some of my biggest issues have been probably procrastination, um, a little bit of self-doubt. That's not really like an addiction.
It can
That
be.
that has that
Yeah,
has been
yeah.
some issues I've been having recently. Uh, I don't know. I think really my biggest addiction has been ketamine. But I don't know. I've always had a mental thing where I could just stop. But the problem is I don't ever like to stop if it's not really ever affecting me truly.
And my whole thing with procrastination is I've always been a lazy person, so I always try to find ways to make things easy for me. So if I can figure out, how to make that ketamine basically free, or if it's not a worry, not actually affecting my money, then I'm like, you know what, what's the point? Why would I stop? And I think that was like the biggest problem for a while, was that I had to realize that just because it wasn't affecting my money, that like it was starting to take a toll on my health. Because I did start to feel a little bit weird on my kidneys, or I'd feel like a little weird in my liver. Like my sides would just start hurt a little
Ah,
bit.
dude, I got that pain right now.
And but honestly, that wasn't even my like a big reason to quit. It was just fucking just when I had recently broke up with my girl, was fucking my ex. Fucking when that had happened, that's whenever I had kind of just stopped ketamine kind of cold turkey. And honestly, it was a little bit hard, just like the first couple of days. But honestly, it really didn't bother me too much. It was just more about the fact that, like, I don't know, the accessibility to it that kind of fucks with me. It's just like I just know constantly like how easy it is to get.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess it's just like trying to figure out how to stay strong about that, or like, cause like I don't know, I'm always on my phone, even at work. So it's like I got to just find something to distract myself about it.
I mean, dude,
Cause
you've
if
been
not, I'll
doing the
fucking
workouts and
just.
stuff, That stuff's
Oh yeah.
extremely,
What's up,
extremely
man?
like working out. Just literally like focusing on the body is like I would say easily one of the first steps of being like sober, or like just coming to a proper place with whatever it is that you do, or whatever, like
I would
the
argue
the
that it's
mind
essential.
body mental connection,
Absolutely.
because a lot of it is us just kind of letting ourselves go. It's like
Mhm.
we're always there. We're always here, of course, but then there's just that like whatever mental uh, click or switch that we just it's an instantaneous flip off. It's like the moon gets full and you're like, fuck this, it's time to go get fucked up, you know
Yeah.
whatever the fuck, or for me at least. That's but yeah, I mean, I like that. I like that. Just what we just did. That was really nice. Going through the whole fucking the thing, letting everybody speak
Now
their
it's time for you,
fucking.
man.
Fuck, it is my turn. Oh, fuck.
But hey, before you go, man, collect your thoughts, man. I've really watched you go through this, Nate, from the very beginning. Um, and I think the environment in which we all come up in, and put ourselves in sometimes, really has an effect on, kind of the paths that we go down. And so I don't know. That's kind of what we're going to get into next.
Mm.
But Nate, do you just want to kind of go ahead, man, and talk about, I know you'll probably have a lot to say here.
Good
But
little
yeah,
bit.
go
I'm
ahead,
not
man.
gonna go super long, but
Yeah, yeah.
fucking basically, ketamine's my bitch, and I'm ketamine's bitch. You know, it's been like that for a solid. When did we move here, Jones? Um,
You
when
moved
did
here
I
in
move here?
October of 2022, man, I believe.
Yeah, right before my birthday. I remember
Which
turning
is
21 here.
just crazy, man. I mean, wow.
And I had done ketamine already once before I moved here with Marcus. Um, that was the only time though. It never was something that I was like, oh, this is cool. I K-holed the first time I did it
Yeah.
though. We did a little
And
nice line in an RV, you know.
yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is not an RV anymore. That was my first time experiencing any kind of like dissociative, really. I never really did any kind of pills, I'd done a whippet, but like ketamine hitting my first dissociative, receptors or whatever, I didn't enjoy it. I felt fucking weird as shit. I was like, and then Marcus's mom walks up in the RV. She's like, "Are you guys high?" I'm like, "Yeah, we just smoked a bunch of weed and ate some mushrooms. That's all." But she was cool with that at that point. But hey, ketamine. Initially, I met this plug here You know, I was with Elijah actually. We were at the temple. Fucking went
That's
to this
bizarre.
free show. Met this K plug, you know. And I was like, you know, doing whatever at the time. You know, I was doing a bunch of Molly. You know, I've always been on drugs, you know, but I never have had like an addiction per se to one until I found ketamine. You know, ketamine for some reason got its fucking grip around me after a while of just like trying to sell it and shit like that. You know, I didn't even think of it as like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this every day. You know, it just eventually was like, all right, I'm gonna try each one I get. You know, because I'm, you know, selling drugs or whatever the fuck. And eventually, it just leads to me doing bumps all the time. You know, it just somehow out of nowhere, out of fucking nowhere. And next thing you know, I'm like meeting, or I'm hanging out with like Elijah and Woody and Kosa and all of them, and they're like noticing before me, type shit. Like I'm not even noticing. They're like, yeah, man, you've been doing ketamine every day, and I wasn't even doing like lines or anything at that point, you know. I'm like, damn, you know, I kind of have been doing it every day. And then it started then. I started literally like trying to not do it then. All right, I had a first initial like sober stint at the beginning, which if I fucking held that one down, God, I'd probably be good by now. Because right before that, I was sobering from weed. I was sobering from fucking everything. I was like ready to get 100% fucking sober, you know.
I know you also had like a little Molly stint too.
Yeah. With the raves and shit, we definitely did Molly like every weekend. You know,
Yeah,
every
the whole
other
group did.
weekend, the entire, you know. But like that, I feel like, you know, that wasn't like an addiction. That wasn't like going home and fucking getting fucking rocked on ketamine. But eventually there came this beautiful girl, you know, which Costa introduced me to through his girl at the time, his thing at the time. Let's not say that was his.
Not my girl.
Yeah, fun
Cut that
times.
off right there.
Yeah. But yeah, so, you know, first time, you know, we hang out first couple times, she does a fucking half-gram line of ketamine. Like I get this little line out, this tiny ass line, you know. And then she scrapes the whole pile into one thing and does it all. And I'm like, all right, this is going to be a project. And then eventually I start chasing her down in there, you know. I start fucking trying it out. I'm like, what is all this about, you know? And then I discover the real K-hole, all right? And this shit is deep. It's a deep hole when it, like, between simulation, hallucinations, being unplugged, meeting and hearing the voice of a possible god or deity, you know, all kinds of things. Between the year of 2023 to 2024 was probably the hardest drug use I am probably ever going to do in my life, to be real. Like we, at the peak, Danny and Elijah and Costa Jones, all of you guys were there actually. Even Morrow, I'm pretty sure, for Excision, that one year
Yeah.
where we probably did like 5 tanks in the house and like over an ounce of ketamine throughout the week.
Yeah, Maya was actually there.
Maya was there too. Everybody was there for this event, man. This shit's interesting.
Yeah, it was a great time. I miss it.
Even fucking Danny, you know?
Oh God.
Both Dannys. I mean, fuck, you know. You were there in
Word.
spirit, I'm sure, Mr. Loyal to the Foil. But
All right. Shoot, man. What I kind of want to get into next, man, is just how everybody's environment has maybe kind of shaped their addictions, or
moving
you know,
to
also I kind of
Colorado.
want everybody to maybe think about their first memories of addiction. You know, maybe just hearing their parents talk about it, or maybe seeing a family member go through that. Does anybody want to start us off with that? Nate, I mean, do you want to talk about that? Because I know, you know, growing up in McIntosh.
Real
Man,
quick,
it's
though,
so damn
Nate,
normal.
Loyal to the Foil is so crazy, bro.
That's
I would say
that's
a
homie
big
Danny's
factor
Instagram name.
in an environment for sure for me growing up was definitely okay. So I have an older sister. She's pushing 30, but she was always like caring towards me when we were younger. All right, she would always want me to feel included. because like we were only half siblings, but we we didn't have the best type of growing up situation. So she always wanted to make sure everyone felt loved and shit. And she ended up being a really big plug whenever I was growing up. So from the ages of like I'd say like 10 to like 15, 16, she was like one of my city's biggest plugs. So I was kind of growing up seeing like her like slowly transition of sales, and I was just like seeing like so like I'm like 10, bruh. She's taking me to Colorado to go get packs and shit, and so I'm seeing like pounds for the first time, and I'm kind of just like, damn. So this is how it goes, and like we'll be like just at our crib, and I'm not gonna lie, she used me a little bit because she would hide some stuff in my room. Like there'd be times where she would like hide literal hundreds of cartridges in my room in just trash bags. And so I think that was like a big factor of me wanting to kind of be something like that. Just like the money and the rotation, just because I was seeing like she'd never had like a real job, but she always had that, and she had a nice truck. She even had she got a what's it called, not a track hawk, but like a trail hawk. She
Trailhawk?
got one of those at one point, yeah. And so I've always seen her like have money, so I wanted to have something like that. And I feel like I don't know, that made me want to pursue my own journey. So I feel like something like that set me off to go find my guy, to supply me to try to be something like that. And I don't know, I feel like maybe if I had a little bit of a direction, it kind of told me like, hey, this ain't exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah.
I think maybe I could have. I
Now,
don't
where
know.
is she now, man? Is she doing well now?
Oh man, she's in like insurance sales or something, but she
Okay.
did have a rough patch going on. She got caught up a little bit ago, and
Yeah.
I actually think she turned snitch or something because there's a little bit of suspicion what how she got out of jail, how she avoided jail. So I kind of just whenever I saw that, I kind of lost a little bit of I don't know, a little bit of respect. I'm not gonna lie, and just a little suspicion. But honestly, like I understand a little bit, but because it's my sister. But it's also like I do feel like possibly she probably put away someone to try to lower her time or get away with jail time because she had got caught up with like a couple P's and shit, and she
Damn.
didn't really face no jail time.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's in Oklahoma now. She's doing her own thing. She's good, but yeah,
That's
her
cool.
her shit didn't end too well. But I guess kind of like me, I developed my own shit. Had a gambling addiction. Had a drug addiction. I was using my money to travel to raves every fucking weekend. I was just wasting the money.
Fair, bro.
I
Oh
definitely
man,
fucking
man, that number
talked to
makes me
Elijah
sick
about
still.
that.
The
Yeah.
trap is an addiction in and of itself, bro. Honestly,
It's
that's
called a trap for a reason.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Bro,
Heard that
it's
quote too
called
many
a trap
times.
for a reason,
It's
bro.
hard to
The
get
Like,
out.
rat trap.
god
Man.
damn, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
it
and just in
is,
the
bro.
back of my head, and the worst thing is like I was really loving it too. Like even then, it just like it's like hard to not just like fully just want to go back into that, just cause like I really didn't fucking plan my future, bro. Like I was just planning to just do that. I was planning to fucking possibly even move to some southern state and try to start some deeper underworld type of organization. Like I was really
This
just
man
kind of
was on
fucked
El
in the
Chapo
head.
mode. Dude, I
Yeah,
remember. I remember.
romanticizing the cartels and shit. Like,
It's not good.
It's a
Yeah, I
I
know
thought
you're
definitely
digging a little
process.
bit too deep, but yeah, I watched Narcos one time, and man, dude, yeah, dude, it's not the same when Escobar dies. So I stopped watching then,
oh no,
but
I
yeah,
kind of
so
just had a yeah, my fault. No, I was done.
no, no, you're good. Um, but dude, I don't know. Anyways, I was just gonna talk about some of my experiences, and I just have to give a lot of credit, to my father, because he had to grow up in an environment with a little bit more addiction, definitely than I did. I mean, the main thing when I was a kid was, that my dad would just occasionally, get too drunk. Um, so he's always struggled with alcoholism, but his dad, so my granddad, he was a musician, and so Being in that scene, can also, or can a lot of times just mean being around that stuff. And I think, he really kind of got sucked in to, that whole scene. His thing was, crack cocaine. And, they say that, you can snort it and, yada, yada, yada. But that first time you smoke it, it gets a hold of you. And yeah, it got a hold of him, really bad. And, but my dad would, you know, tell me those stories though, when I was a kid from early on. And, him telling me those stories, I felt like really helped me to stay away from those things. Like one story in particular that he told me was that, him and his mother had won the bingo, won like maybe like $2,000 or something,
Damn.
like won the jackpot. And so, my grandma's sister at the time was living in Tampa, and so they drove from Savannah, and went down to Tampa. And I guess like at some point, like maybe on the way back, they tried to buy something, and their car bounced or whatever. And my grandma was like, this couldn't be, we just won the bingo, like what the hell, um, and so they got back to Savannah, and she pulled out a bank statement. She just saw that every, you know, hour or two, my Papa Job was going in there, taking $50 out at a time. Um, and so, yeah, that was a story that I felt like, um, really led me to stay away from that stuff, and just be aware. It's a knowledgeable story to just know how addiction works, like to know that he, you know, was just going back every hour or so, because it was almost like each time he's like, oh, this is going to be the last time. It's going to be the last time. But,
Yeah.
indeed it
And then you
wasn't the
forget.
last. And yeah, it was always just really crazy. And I mean, he has some other crazy stories. Like, I guess my Papa Joe would hang around this, large black guy who I guess maybe worked like as a bouncer in a lot of the, the bars that they would perform in and stuff. And so, they would smoke crack together. And there was this one particular time where, this dude who was slinging some crack, got a little bit too, overzealous, and like held out his hand, and there was like, 5 baggies of crack in his hand or something. And um, he was just like, hey, pick one, and the guy, I forget his name, just like grabbed the dude's whole hand, you know, and grabbed all the crack, and like grabbed his hand and told my granddad to just like keep drive, like drive off. And he's like dragging this dude, so he can steal, all the crack or whatever. Um, I'm sure that was very traumatic. I mean, like,
It's
good
armed
Lord.
robbery, but not armed.
I mean, yeah, but
Handed.
and I think like one other story that kind of sticks out to me is, just I guess my dad growing up in the Savannah area back in the day. You know, it's either a really nice area or it's a really rough area depending on where you're at in the city. But my dad said like if you took a wrong turn, down a wrong street, there would be like girls who would like run out, in the street, like, you know, trying to, give somebody a blowjob for money. I mean, just crazy stuff. To have to see as a child, like my dad would see these things as a child, um, but he made sure to tell me about these things from an early age. So, I would just be aware of addiction, and, how, powerful it is and how fast it can take somebody over,
Yeah.
Um, and so I'm forever thankful for that, man. I'm forever thankful that he shared those stories with me. Um,
I think
and
that's
yeah, man,
something that's got to happen. Is everybody's just got to share their stories more, bro. Especially people like that are
absolutely.
coming out of this shit. Cause like it's influential. It's a butterfly effect, bro. You don't know what your story can be heard. You don't know how your story can be heard to somebody else that will literally like you're like they're like, damn, I'm literally living through this shit or whatever, or like I don't want to ever live through that shit. Like it's like
Yeah.
it's it's powerful, like and expression is literally like, most of this addiction stuff is a lot of it could be bottled up emotions and thoughts and feelings and stuff that people just can't fucking share with anybody. you know, because they're gonna be looked at funny, or they're gonna be exiled, or they won't fucking talk to you because you sound like this crazy fucking drug addict, whatever the fuck, you know.
Hmm.
But
I just
really,
think
we're
like,
all just fucking humans, man, trying to fucking get out of that shit. A lot of them, and if you know, hopefully everybody do.
one big thing growing up in the South too, man. Just like from my perspective, this is now from my perspective, my childhood. Alcohol was always a big thing, and that was something that my dad, even though he did drink and probably had a good time drinking, he wanted me to steer clear from that, and that's something that I always, you know, wanted for myself as well, and even my mother just having to go through that with him all these years, she's also really wanted me to steer clear from that, and um, but yeah, I mean, you growing up in the South, we all have family who struggles with drugs. And so, yeah, I mean, I haven't just heard the stories, about my granddad. There's been stories from, plenty of other people. Um, I think I told y'all too about my cousin who lives in Tampa. He was a huge meth dealer, who did federal prison at just 17 years old, for basically having his whole hometown just hooked on meth, and he had to sit in jail for a long time and, think about what he was doing. And he says, he realized what he was doing was just so messed up because, like his hometown was a mess. People were, running around stealing things and just, doing meth, staying up all night, nobody, having jobs. And then children have to grow up in that environment, and that's the worst thing. And that's what I see a lot, in my job, when I go to school every day, is children are having to be raised in these environments, and that's going to affect these children, man. And we have to break these cycles. We have to break these cycles and overcome, substance abuse because it's always been a problem. It's been a problem for a lot of different societies. And like I know, the other Danny was saying he grew up in Phoenix. I'm sure like in a big city like that, especially out west, you know, um, there's just so much more going on, um, rather than here. I wouldn't say like where I'm from, that pills were a big influence or anything, but like I know over on the island, a lot of people do pills and maybe more hard stuff.
Lots of
Um,
cocaine, Powder Island.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. And I think too, growing up in a time where drugs and pills and hard stuff were mentioned a lot in rap music,
Oh,
and
dude, that was oh yeah, that was a big one.
and
The
when
Zandemic.
rappers, who are wearing like gold chains and all this cool stuff are talking about like doing drugs, that makes a lot of people want to start experimenting with that, and that's a dangerous path to go on for sure.
And that definitely happened, like with a whole generation, with like fucking Juice
Absolutely.
World, everybody. Especially because
Juice
Future
World
was on
was
that
a big
shit.
Glorifying.
Future was,
man.
I think
Future.
Juice World said that he tried it because of Future, but Future
Yeah.
admitted that he only raps about it, doesn't actually do it, you know? And that
Whoa.
influence is dangerous, dude. That influence is
And then
definitely
like
dangerous.
even just
I
talking about
tried that shit.
depression a lot, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like nowadays like people are depression's a real issue and I don't want to take away from that, but like when you hear a rapper be like, "Oh, I'm depressed," people are like, "Oh, I want to almost be depressed too." And that's really weird, and I feel like we almost kind of went through a phase like that.
Music is
Yeah.
powerful, bro.
Or it just kind of became trendy to be depressed,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
people actually dealing with depression don't
Whereas
find
back in
it
the day, like people might not have talked about their issues more, but like,
for sure.
if they did, it would be like, hey man, you just like toughen up. And honestly, maybe some people do just need to
Be a man.
put their big boy pants on a little bit, like from time to
Pull your
time.
britches up.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's good to be sensitive sometimes, and I think it's also good to be like, hey man, just be real with people. Like, dude, this is something that you got to fix. Like, but at the same time, it has to be a good mix. And you can't be too harsh on people for going through what they're going through, man.
Gotta survive.
But yeah,
You
man.
brought up some cool ideas. That actually, you reminded me of some stuff kind of to do with the environment and also what you were talking a little bit with the rap music and all that.
Yeah.
There was a point of quite a few months uh, where I kind of forgot to mention I had a real problem with stealing cough meds like the DXM stuff and alcohol.
Yeah.
And like as for environment, like that's just life. Like there's the grocery store. Every time that I would go to a grocery store, Walmart or something, you know, if it's there, it's free. And with the whole, the depression is a big problem, and things like therapy and psychiatry and all that, that's pretty expensive. Not a lot of people can afford all that.
Yeah.
And you know, the cough meds at the store are free. You know, this stuff over here is very cheap. And I remember there was a point where I was very obsessed with like, yeah, I would do the cough meds like multiple times a week, and I knew it was horrible for my body, and I was just so stuck. I remember I would binge watch Sassy the Sasquatch all the time, and like Big Les and shows like that, like Trailer Park Boys, the ones that really sort of the main theme is just like, oh, we're fucked up. It's sort of like I don't know. I really kind of maybe not romanticized, but the whole idea of being just like zonked, like yo, like bro, that was very ideal. Like I don't know, that just seems comfortable because like I remember like the first times that I ever like kind of got high, it was because I remember when I would be sick when I was like 12, and I noticed that if I drank more of the NyQuil than I was supposed to, I felt kind of like floaty, kind of spacey, like nice sensations all over. And I remember, like, I don't like growing up, and being in a super, you know, tough school, lots of homework and stuff. You know, the idea of escaping or like having some sort of inner fun world was very intriguing. And yeah, like the music, all the music I listened to, like, when I was in high school, and yeah, Juice World was the biggest thing. Like people like, you know, all those folks, Lil Xan, all that, Lil Peep was a big one, and all the YouTubers that I used to watch, I would watch like fucking, you know, like the Goblin and all that
Oh, Goblin.
nonsense. Yeah, dude, and I was obsessed, absolutely obsessed. Because like I don't that part it really uh, drugs like kind of became part of my personality, really. Like I don't know, just the whole vibe of like I don't know. I'm kind of tripping up my words, but I think you know exactly what I mean. Just the combination of the music, the culture behind it is a big part.
Absolutely. I feel like fucking, that shit's on purpose in a way, like it was natural, of course. Like, I mean, but there's a guiding hand there. Whatever, whatever it is, whatever the force, the negative force
What's
it
really
is.
interesting for me is being a couple of years older than everyone else in here, right? Or
Yeah.
at least I think I am. I don't know about the other Danny.
How old are
but
you again, Elijah?
27, 28 this year.
Okay.
Damn!
About to hit the 27.
I'm 21.
Hey, bro, I appreciate that though. That means that I stay
That's my
youthful,
uncle.
Yeah. I feel like I've been
but
the older friend a lot too, man.
yeah, I was gonna say as someone who's like kind of was just a couple years before y'all on it, bro. It was very interesting. I saw the shift in that music like in live fucking time, right? Because
Oh yeah.
2016, 2015-ish is when that stuff really started to take off. I graduated 2015, right? So
You
leading
graduated
up,
2016, eh?
yes, sir.
God damn, bro.
Okay.
That's crazy
Wow.
perspective,
Okay. So
man.
you were a
Wow.
senior when I was a freshman.
Yeah, exactly. I was a
Yeah,
freshman that year, dude.
yeah.
Oh man, great
So,
year. Great year.
dude, it was though. It was, but like for me, I saw that, bro, because like a lot of that music before then, bro, it was like we're gonna have the best night of our lives, right? Like, bro, that was literally the theme for all of it. Was like, oh, we're going out, we're having the best time, like it's great, and then it shifted to a lot more of like, yes, they were still promoting getting drunk and doing drugs and stuff, but it was in a lot more of a positive for fun type of movement, if anything, right? And then it shifted more to that depressive, like y'all said, Little Peep and all those other people, where it was just a lot more depressed drug use, right? Where it's not the going out, it's like we're fucked up doing Xans at the crib type of like feeling on it, dude. And it was a very palpable shift in music in general at that point. It was really interesting to see that, dude. Yeah, it was. We're like, and that's how I always rationalized for a very long time that I don't have a problem. I'm doing this having fun, right? Like I'm not at home just doing this shit, right? I'm not just doing it just to do it. I'm doing it because I'm raved for the most recent one or whatever. a party. Oh, there's a house party. There's this. There's that. There's some reason for me to be doing this.
Yeah.
And then and then I just felt like that changed over where it wasn't looked at as negatively for people to be fucking popping pills at the crib and just hanging out. Dude, I don't know. To me, that was still very taboo, right, when I was first coming up. So it's interesting seeing that was y'all's as y'all were coming into the age of that more of that stuff was around. That's when that stuff was also being popularized.
Yeah, it's like they were targeting our generation almost.
Yeah.
Man, I'm actually gonna sign off, boys. Got some things to knock out this Sunday, man. But hey, man, I just want to say before I get off, man, that
Brother Jones.
yeah, but hey, I just want to say, before I get off, man, that best of luck with all y'all for whatever you're struggling with, and Nate, man, especially you. Man, something that I really hope this podcast can help you overcome, man, and because like I said, I've been seeing this for a while, and yeah, man. So y'all boys continue having a fine Sunday. It was good talking with y'all.
You too, my brother.
New Danny, it was nice to meet
Brother
you, man.
Jones.
Yeah, nice to meet you
Have a
too.
good Sunday, Brother Jones.
But all right, yeah, man. Y'all boys have a good one now.
Have a
Peace,
good one,
man.
Jones.
Goodbye,
Sure
Bubba.
not.
Later.
Gang, 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 gang. And then there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then there were 6.
No
Damn,
way.
we kind of got a
Sun
bunch
go
of people
away
in here.
already?
I think
This has been a
X was
very
like a
well
big
one.
part of that depressed movement of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was, dude.
And it was just
Yeah,
like,
well, also the hype part too. I would be so
yeah.
angry walking the halls high as fuck, just wishing that someone would bump into me.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Dude.
can't relate with that, but yeah, dude, I could see how that could be a thing.
Dude, my thing was
I
with
don't know.
X's spiritual views and shit. And I'm like, bro, definitely had some demons because he fucking was aware as fuck. Like, he was aware of all those demons, you know?
Dude,
For
he was
sure.
right. Remember the part he was talking about? Yeah, if I get shot, if something bad happens to me, it's because I deserve it. And he was talking about, like, his friend was saying that he had an acid trip, and X was telling him that he said that demons talked to him and said that they were going to come take him and get him.
Fucking
Bro,
crazy.
all I'm
Yeah.
saying
Like,
is
I don't know.
y'all think Drake did it?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, bro.
It's
I think so, bro.
Drake is a demon.
possibility.
I think he definitely did that
And I
shit,
think
bro.
that shit can all be tied back to Israel, dude.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Drake is one of them, bro. For sure.
No bullshit, man. Just like Aiden
Like,
Ross.
actually.
Adam
Yeah.
Sandler, you know?
Yeah, you're telling me some dude
not
from
Adam
the middle of
Sandler.
Toronto, like, out of nowhere just picked up. Adam Sandler's definitely one of them, bro. I'm
You
sorry
think
to tell you.
so?
Bro,
I'm just a
he,
big fan. I'm in
he's part of
denial
the
about
race.
that one, dude.
He's
Fuck.
part of the race, bro.
But I love Adam Sandler,
I do
dude.
too, unfortunately. He's funny as
Shit, they
fuck.
can be funny. Yeah, the bad guys can be funny. They got jokes.
They can laugh,
Hey,
make
but
you
shout
laugh into docility.
Shout out a real one like Jim Carrey, man. Rest in
Rest
peace.
in peace, bro. Yeah, fuck. If
Wait,
he is
what?
dead, he could be hiding.
Bro, ain't no way, dude. They killed him. That was not.
That was not him, bro.
Bro, it wasn't
Yeah.
him.
Oh, because people think that he's a double, or that's not him.
Dude,
Bro,
that's
that
not
I thought he
was
died and
not
I didn't
him.
hear about it.
not
That
him.
was not him. They killed his ass. Just like Selena Gomez, dude.
I've heard of
That
that.
Selena
Listen,
Gomez
bitch
is
the fuck
not
up.
that, bro. That is not Selena Gomez, bro.
Oh,
That is
no.
Yeah,
not
She
Selena
went
Gomez.
away.
my
She
Selena
went
Gomez
away
would never
from
come back
rehab.
fat.
Low-key.
Her
My
face is
Selena.
fucking botched, bro. I was like, yo, that is
Yeah,
not the
bro.
same chick, bro.
And ends up with Benny Blanco?
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, end up with Benny Blanco. Come on, dude. If I were Justin Bieber, bro, I'd be sad too, man. Fuck.
Bro.
Didn't he have like a couple
He hates his
episodes?
wife, though,
Do y'all
dude.
think Justin a real one though because of his
I'm pretty
crash
sure.
out, possibly?
I'm pretty
What,
sure
Justin
that
Crouch?
Justin. I think he was exposed to it as at an early age, and now he's because if you see the videos of him, he was just like a musical prodigy, and I'm pretty sure they were like, that group of people were like, oh, that's a money move right there, and they got him into the system, bro, and I think that his wife is like a handler, and that's why he hates her so much, and that's why he goes through like episodes every now and then, like manic episodes.
Man,
Yeah,
y'all remember
I'm
Britney
pretty sure his
Spears
wife
and
is his
shit.
handler. Yeah, because there's like a couple of videos where he like was freaking out, but they got scrubbed off the internet. Like there was a couple of videos where he was talking about Selena too, and like how she got like zoinked.
And I had the
and like,
baby, and then the baby died or something, or they took the baby.
Oh,
yeah,
double
bro. So I'm
fuck.
pretty sure he's getting handled, and yeah, it's fucked up.
I could say the same for Kanye, even, bro. Like, I get Kanye vibes of being a real one, but then he just turns around and does some fucking nut shit out of nowhere.
Nah, bro. That's because they're trying to make him look crazy.
Exactly, like, yeah, like that
They could
MK
never
It's all
make
the
me
Ultra
hate
shit.
you.
nitrous.
The
Nigga made
nitrous.
bro. I don't
Tweaking,
care what
tweaking
he
off that
does.
2CB,
He
huh?
made graduation, bro.
Yeah,
Graduation?
bro, that boy gave us graduation.
What is
He's
graduation? The
forever.
song?
That's his album.
No, bro, it's an
Oh,
album
fuck. I'm slacking on
with
the
many
Kanye,
classics in
man.
it.
Fuck.
And on top of that, bro,
I like
my
the
boy gave us
bipolar
the
one.
college dropout, dude. When
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
That's my
God, no.
shit. That's my shit, dude. I love Ye, bro. They could never make me hate Ye.
Yeah, I think all that stuff has to do a lot with addiction.
Yeah, dude.
I mean,
Um,
like, honestly, it's all connected. It's all connected, man. It's
There,
fucking.
there were.
let's get back on track. Yeah, dude.
It is.
Can we talk
It is,
about the
though. It
files
is
on this,
fun.
Nate?
Yeah, fuck it, bro.
No, can we or not? Like, I don't want you to be on the fence. Like, you got to give me a direct no or a direct yes.
Yeah, let's talk about the files.
Go ahead,
No,
bro.
like seriously, because if you're trying to build something here, I'm not trying to fuck it up, man. You know what I mean? If you're really trying to build something, then say that and be serious about it. Stand on it, and I'll.
I
But
feel
you
like
have
in
to
these
like
early
set clear
days, it
definition
also
rules.
doesn't matter. Like we're just here right now, basically, kind of just, you know, we doing our
All right.
thing. Let's talk. Shit.
I won't talk about it just because I don't want to put your thing in jeopardy, man. I feel
We
like this
are
thing is really
streaming
helping
on
you out.
Twitch, you know. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it would
So
be
we'll
better
just
to
say
maybe
You gotta-
bring this stuff out
move
later in the
quick, boy.
journey. You know, we got to start talking
Sure,
about
I'll do
this
that.
once we get established. I'd say
Is kick not the move?
we don't want to get shadow banned as soon as we fucking get off the ground.
Yep.
But,
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Coast is right, bro. Why don't we stream on Kick or something? That's
Kick?
regulations.
I gotta get on that Kick
That's where
On a brighter
never
note,
mind.
right?
Kick
Tomorrow.
messaging.
On a brighter note, right? How'd last night
Yep.
go, man?
Man, y'all boys, last night was crazy.
Oh, yeah,
Shit was a movie, twin.
It was good. It was good. Like, first of all, I want to say thank y'all for pushing me to go. Freaking Elijah and Chase, like, and D Hermes, bro. Cause I was like, bro, it's like insane, bro. The whole time, bro, I was feeling like not with the shits, bro. Like, even when I was in my room here and I put the fit on, I was like, something was in my head, like, nah, bro, do not go. And the whole reason was because of the parking, which is funny because later on, that's what I had an issue with was parking. And but yeah, it ended up being a great night. Like like the whole time in the line, y'all remember the line at El Patio, that long ass freaking line, and I had to sit through that bitch, bro. The whole time I was nervous. My chest was tight. Like my lower back was hurting. Like I was tight, bro. I was nervous. I had like definitely I was struggling with that. And I kept having to catch my breath and stuff and just play it cool in front of the huzz and the line and shit. But eventually we got it in, bro. And she was sitting there waiting, and
She
it
said
was
she
crazy
would.
through the window. Exactly. As I was going through the line, I peeped her in the window, and some dude was trying to hit on her, and I was peeping this. I was like, hold on, let me see what kind of girl I'm dealing with here. And she was like talking to him, but she turned that man away. And you can tell because he walked like he was all mad. He was like walked away. I was like, hell yeah. He's staying true to the game, bro. So I was like, all right, we can't. Once I went in, like immediately, boom, eye contact, and like it was just this smile, and our eyes locked for a minute, and I was like, oh, okay, she's feeling me. Like I could tell the energy is there, bro. And like I
Seen the
thought I
white
was gonna
beard.
be nervous. She seen the white beard. I had it buttoned up at first, but but like it was since from the first drink, bro. Like the first drink that we ended up having, like the nerves completely went away. It was insane. Like as soon as we started talking, the nerves completely went away. I wasn't even like thinking about the nerves or nothing. But yeah, like we were dancing, having a good time, and by the end of it, like I we ended up kissing and stuff, all that, and she stayed up with me, like trying to look for my whip, and eventually I was like, nah, you got to go home. It's getting cold. And it was crazy. Like your boy had to go on like a little a little lock-in mission. Like it was cold, it was windy. Your boy had that like a white beater and a thin ass button up, like a thin ass button up and some chinos on, bro. Like
The
I was not fitted
chinos.
for the weather, dude. Thin ass fabric on all the clothes I was wearing, and like I was suffering, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was cold. Suffering, bro. I was like, bro, I'm not calling no fucking Uber, bro. I'm dealing with this problem today because I'm Sunday is off tomorrow, bro. I'm not doing shit on Sunday, dog. So I fucking like locked in. I kept telling myself like you got this, you got this. Even though I had no faith, I was like, no, fuck that, you got this. And it's crazy, bro, because I ended up finding the 7-Eleven that I initially went into to get like a pack of smokes before I went into the club. And it's crazy because I kept looking up on the phone, and this particular 7-Eleven was not showing up on the Google Maps, so I had to like manually find the 7-Eleven. And once I found the 7-Eleven, I was like, yes! Ah! I was just screaming, bro, in the middle of downtown at like 4 in the morning, bro. Like, yeah! I found the fucking whip, bro. I was like, let's go! And man, that was just like peak euphoria, bro. When I found the
Dopamine
whip and I got in
surge.
the bro, it's everything like every like good like oxytocin, serotonin, all that shit, bro, was just surging through my body, bro. I was like, let's fucking go. And like honestly, like 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 that shit really helped me with my self confidence. Like that's really
You
what
found
I've
this
been like dealing with.
confident man. That's what I'm talking about.
Like really, I feel like that was my biggest issue, and that's why I struggled with drugs. Like I feel like it was a self image thing. Like for me, it was like I don't deserve this. I don't deserve that. I'm a piece of shit. Like I would really degrade myself,
Degrade.
and it's crazy because it was so sneaky. Like I never once was like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. It was just low key. It was subtle. Like I would tell myself these things and give myself these ideas and these notions without ever having put those actual words together. So it was like I never even realized how low my self image was, but I held everyone else in such a high regard. And it wasn't until I questioned that, like, why do I look up to everybody? Like, what is it about everyone that I'm looking up to? Why don't I think of this as myself? And eventually it's like, you know what, bro? I am that guy. I am just as cool as everybody else. And once I started having that respect for myself and not just like thinking that, but taking the action, taking the steps and putting myself in position in situations that I had to get myself out of. Like like especially when I was like a foreman and stuff, like I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. The crews that I was given were like these guys were jackasses, like slack jawed, fucking like not like these dudes are not blue collar. Like there's some white collar ass boys working blue collar, and like I had to run that shit. Like I'm telling you, like these 40,000, 60,000, $100,000 jobs, like I installed all that shit basically on my fucking own, bro. And it's like anyone can look at me and tell me like you're not worth shit, motherfucker. You have no idea what these hands are capable of. Like you have no idea what I've done with my body, my mind, and when I set my mind to a task, I can do it. I can fucking do it. And like when I really put myself out there and now I have the confidence, like no matter what situation I get into, I'm gonna get myself out of that. So yeah, let's take some risks. Let's go. Let's do it. Fuck it. So
Get her
yeah, man.
done.
That was the main theme of last night, y'all. Hell yeah.
I'm sorry I wasn't with it for real because now I see that like really it's like that perception of mine is like my own kind of addiction is like don't do it, you know, like it's actually better to just fucking sit in your room and be a monk. Like when in reality it's not. Like you can be a monk and get all the spiritual teachings and whatever the fuck, but getting out and doing stuff and like fucking just experiencing whatever the fuck life has to throw at you for the night is way more fucking valuable. And then you go in monk mode and think about that experience, you know. Like that's yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm glad you did it, bro. I'm glad.
Hell
I
yeah.
need to get out and do some shit this weekend or sometime soon, bro. I don't know what, but I need
Hell
to get
yeah.
out and do something.
We'll get something popping
Yeah,
for
bro.
sure.
We should do a little Sunday gathering in real life eventually. Like
I'm with
some
it
kind of
for
fucking.
sure.
Bro, what do you
summer
mean? We're gonna
thing.
have a Sunday with the most of these people all in here in Kansas in September.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Loyal
We
to
will-
the foil.
We will have a Sunday.
Danny, you gotta come to Dance Fest. New Danny
In Kansas?
in Kansas.
I think I have family in Kansas, perhaps.
Hey, if not, you got us.
Hey, Yeah, I really want to visit Colorado. That's been on the list for a while.
Dude, it's crazy here. It's fucking, it's something. There's plenty of mountains and nature, but there's also plenty of like weird robotic city matrix activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely a hub for the devil, bro. This is a fucking
Yeah.
demonic ass state, bro. Not
Yeah.
even a state, just the city of Denver, really. It's really just
Yeah,
Denver.
bro. Between the
Oh yeah, isn't
DIA
there an
airport.
airport?
I was,
Sorry.
yep,
Yeah.
you were
Oh,
saying it.
yeah.
You were gonna say it. He already knows.
Yeah. Hey, I do gotta start heading out though. I've been kinda, I don't know. I was gonna go to like this random community service thing, but I came on here. I do. This was a nice talk though. I'm glad that
Yeah,
I came out here. Cause yeah, like I
absolutely.
was saying before, I missed the whole sort of NA style where like you're sharing with other people and hearing other people's experiences. That is very cool. I'll definitely have to pop around sooner. Oh yeah, and also I think you mentioned that you're streaming somewhere. Where can I check that out if that's ever
I
a
am
thing?
on
I didn't.
Twitch. If you look in the Discord, like one of the channels, I don't know if you have it added yet, but you can add the channel and it has all the links to all of this stuff pretty much. Like all the Sunday
Hey,
service
we
stuff.
gotta
All
get
that.
better about telling people that we're live.
Yeah, I mean, I've posted on all my stories, but that's about it.
Okay. Hey, well,
But
I'll catch you later, dog.
nah,
Thanks for
hey,
talking.
loved having you, bro. Definitely
Yeah,
join us
man.
again, man.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
coming
Much
in.
respect, bro. Much respect, bro.
Much,
You
much
did some
respect.
difficult shit, bro. Like
Keep
really,
doing your
really,
thing,
bro.
brother.
Thank you. Well, have a good day. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Peace and
Yes,
love, man.
sir.
You as well.
Peace and love.
Fuck yeah, bro. I like it. I like it. I love it. I want more of it. All right, boys.
Dude, do you know what? You know what I'm taking a second to do?
What's up?
I got y'all on my glasses, bro. Sit by this fucking pool.
Mmm.
Hell yeah.
Dog.
Mmm. I think
It's
we
I'm
need to get on
jelly.
segment 2, bros. I think it's about time.
in
Actually,
Sunday.
Justin joined.
Yep.
Justin, you share with us your stuff real quick. We basically went through everybody that was here and fucking shared quick addictions. You know, what are we on? What are we doing to combat it? What are we doing to? Are we enjoying it? Are we doing our thing? You know, what's going on? What's popping?
Addictions. I have two main addictions right now: alcohol and weed. Um, Neither has too serious of a grip on me. Alcohol definitely has the stronger grip on me. Ooh, and nicotine. Throw that in the boat. Don't let
Oh
me be
yeah,
scot
yeah,
free
yeah,
from
yeah,
that
yeah.
one. That's definitely working in a restaurant. That's something it's definitely avoidable if I'm being objectively honest, but it's almost unavoidable working in the restaurant industry to have a nicotine addiction.
Dude, yeah. Yeah. I remember you were trying to quit at one point. I can't remember when, but I remember we were on the
I mean, I
Discord
did a
talking
good
about it.
job whenever I was Bro, just not either using pouches or vapes, but like then I got promoted to kitchen manager, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm
Stress
immediately
upgrade,
going back to
nicotine
vaping.
upgrade. Honestly.
So that shit didn't last very long. When it comes to weed, man, you know, I made it. Last me 2 months, almost three,
That's a
honestly, because
lot.
I
Bro,
bought in
honestly,
January,
That's really
bro
good,
does not
and
have as
honestly.
bad of a problem as he thinks.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
well, that's the thing. I've also in that time frame, I've gone through like I'm on my third dab pen, so like you know, it's not like I'm
Word.
just not doing anything.
Yeah.
This way.
And the dab pens are like 4 G's a piece.
Word.
4
Okay.
G's a piece?
Yeah,
All right. He's been making up
Holy
for the week.
shit. I didn't know they made those.
the
Bro,
mellow
this
The
fellow
shit,
ones I
tinker.
was showing you.
God
this shit was
damn.
like 8 grams, bro. They were like, yeah, this is an 8 gram.
Yeah, the little flying horse ones they sell at the gas station are 7.
Flying
So mine
horse.
being half the size,
Yeah.
and
All
the
right.
mellow
He's fucking
fellow
flying horse, man.
I'm a flying horse on the wrong Saturday night.
But no, the mellow fellows are great, and I get the big ones, so I don't have to buy them often.
Tight. Well, hey, that's
Money
something, man.
wise, I can now very much afford my addictions, but I'm still trying to, you know, not spend money on them. So like, I'll buy 2 dab pens at once, and it'll honestly last me longer than if I buy one and buy one.
Tight. I see, I see. Hey, you know, it's much better than smoking 4 grams of crack. So I'd be happy with it, you know. I wish
My
I could
biggest
just
vice and
consume pot.
addiction, alcohol. That's where the kicker is, man.
Yeah, that's your big one.
Because my roommate's a fucking way bigger alcoholic than me, and I'll spend fucking $100 in a week on shit just at the crib because he's drinking too, and then I'll go out on a weekend with Jasmine, and I'm with Jasmine. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna pay for all your drinks, da 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 da. Blow like fucking $200 on a Friday night.
Fair, bro. Them drinks be expensive at the bars and stuff too.
I don't even be getting a lot of drinks, honestly, but like between me and Jasmine having like 4 piece, that's like $80. $40 for the Uber there, 40 for the Uber back.
Yeah.
We're pushing what,
Shit adds
160 at
up.
this point. I want food, so that's $20. Jasmine is gonna get food, so that's another 20, and we hit our 200 cap limit.
Bang. At
And
least
this
there's a
happens
cap on
in
it,
like
you
the
know.
span of 3 hours. Oh no, there's not a cap. I'll gladly pull out my wallet once again after if we want more drinks, but like
Well, hey.
what I do is I try to keep my bank account above a certain number in my head by the time I get paid again. And if I have done that, my addictions have not gotten the better of me.
That's a good way. That's a good way to look at it, you know.
Like the first step, like kind of a budget.
Budget
Well, that's the
time.
thing. You can't do drugs if you're not committing enough to the rest of your life to afford said drugs. So, like,
It is interesting how the cycles work. Because it's like, I mean, some of you may know that song, like I go to work so I can get money, so I can buy a Coke, so I can go to work, so I can do more Coke. I don't know, I forgot the
Yes.
fucking song, but it's
that's
something like
essentially
that.
how it is.
It's like most of the time our addictions, like my big one with ketamine was when I was working that ABA job. I was pretty bad off then because not only was I still in active addiction, but I had money. So now I have money and I'm working hard as fuck with autistic kids, and it's stressing the shit out of me, so I have to want to de-stress, you know, and it just creates a ruthless cycle. It created a really bad cycle for me. So like that's why I want to do something like this, you know. Eventually I can fucking have like a balanced pattern with no extremities of stress or whatever the fuck it may be. And you know, that's where I want to get into with this segment 2, rewiring the brain and breaking patterns. All right. So where do we start? Dopamine cycles and overstimulation. I included raves in this, you know, because raves for me also was a big part of that. Shows in general can be, you know, it doesn't matter if it's a rave, show, concert, whatever the fuck it is for you. You know, it's a big dopamine surge. All right, and not only is it a dopamine surge on its own, but you're also doing drugs while you're at the massive dopamine surge. All right?
Yeah.
And that is just like, it can be brutal, you know, for someone, especially on like harder drugs that takes the drugs home and continues to do them after the show. For me, for example. And, you know, that shit created rough patterns and cycles, like that weekly show pattern. Like even if I were to make it the entire week without doing ketamine, go to a show, instant, it's like a trigger. It's like, all right, yeah, I was trying to be sober. I went to a show, now I'm definitely not. You know, it's like the shows can, it creates a something in you know, of dopamine void. You know, especially with weekly showing, weekly raving, weekly going out, even just like whatever the fuck it is. That was one of my big ones. That's why I haven't gone to shows. That's why I haven't done any of the fucking raves, you know. I haven't been able
Wait.
to without triggering myself.
So what's the main theme of this segment?
Rewiring the brain and breaking patterns. So like what I'd like to say
Okay.
is like what could we do in opposites of like
So I I have a lot to speak on about this topic because um I feel like me, even though I wasn't like really badly addicted, I was in in a way, I could continue my addiction. Like it wasn't affecting me too heavily, and I didn't want to quit. Like there was no part of me that was like I want to quit. It was really like more of a necessity to be a better man. Like I knew that the my situation and the people around me, like I don't have a father. I don't like my older brother. He's not really like, you know, like I wouldn't say he's that guy. You know what I mean? And there's like a definitely a void to fill around my family, especially because we all know what's going on in the world. We all know what's happening, and I've been aware of this like since forever. And I always knew like at some point I'm going to have to fill that void as a man in my family. Like no one's gonna protect my family. Like that's my duty. That's me. And so I had to do a lot to get out of that mindset and eventually grow. And I would say, first of all, the first thing is honesty, like brutal honesty with yourself. Like you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. Like a lot of people that are in the rave culture, like they almost romanticize their suffering. And they're like, man, I come out here and this is like all I have. I mean, like this I literally live just for this. And it's like that kind of thinking is complete brain rot. Like, bro, you need to get that shit out of your fucking head because there is so much more to life than going out and doing stupid shit and doing drugs. Like, I promise you, there's so much more that life has to offer you. And like, you're not gonna like, and I feel like everyone knows that. Like, there's not a single person in the rave culture that's like, that genuinely believes that that shit's good for them. And if they do, that's a whole nother issue. But like, I'm telling you, like, the sooner that you can get real with yourself and be like, no, maybe I should just stay home. Like how you are saying, Nate, the better you can get to that, the better. And like that dopamine void, it's really a question of how much can you deal with? Like how much are you willing to put up with? Like how much suffering? Like homeboy earlier, he was off them blues and off all that shit, and like he got clean off that shit. Like I respect that. That's a real hard motherfucker, bro. Because that is not no easy shit to do. Like when it comes to your brain chemistry, being like working against you, that shit is no joke, bro. That shit is no fucking joke. Like that shit makes you want to kill yourself. And the fact that bro got through that shit, like respect to him. And like I said, awareness. You got to be aware of that shit, and you got to take steps to move away from that, rather than continuing the patterns, like going to the raves and doing this, and yeah, just like that.
Dude, I agree 100%. 100%. Like, and also with the part that I gotta be like a step, like a link. I'm a missing link in my family right now, like, in a way, you know? And like being the man of that, because I have nothing but, I have one little brother. He's got his own damn kid. I got 4 other sisters that are looking for an older brother, you know? 4 little fucking sisters. And, you know,
And people need that shit, man.
they
I'm gonna be
do.
honest. Like people need their older brothers. People need their like men. Like if you don't have a man in your life, like a real man, that shit really does create a void, man. Like if like the man, like let's say the head of your family, if he's lacking, your whole family's gonna feel that shit. Everyone in your fucking family is going to feel that shit off, like to some extent or another. If the father is lacking, everyone else in the family is going to lack.
And
Everyone,
this
and
shit
that's just a
goes way
fact.
further out than the family alone, too. Like, imagine if I, like, if you knew me without any of the bad stuff that I'd done to myself, you know? Like, imagine
Hmm.
the pure, the pure side of me if that was the only thing that existed. And I imagine, like, I'm trying to imagine, like, all of us, you know, as if we were like the superhumans that we came here to be instead of distracted goyim or whatever, you know. Like that shit's we could change the world one person at a time, you know. One person locking in at a time is literally like slowly but surely changing the fucking world for the better, hopefully, you know. That's how I like to think about that, because it doesn't just affect our family. Like, this whole reality that we live in is affected by us, whether we see it or not. Like, we affect people we don't. We're affecting people we don't know right now. You know,
Yeah.
Mm.
like this shit's
That's
just.
why the
I used to be so caught up in that idea, bro,
Yeah. No,
with
you're not.
with my writing.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, yeah.
I just kind of lost inspiration, man. I don't feel the way I used to feel the way I felt in Colorado. Bro, when I was in
Yeah.
Colorado, I was writing every day, man. And I was just like always think about the people that would read it. And like now I'm at the point where I'm just like, man, how the fuck I'm supposed to help other people if I can't help myself?
That shit
So I
is
just
real,
try,
man.
I'm just trying to get my own life together before I try to worry about anybody else, bro. But like I just feel like I'm in a constant cycle of getting my shit together. And that's such a fucking hard reality.
That's real
Cause
as
it's like,
fuck.
damn, when can I accept that my shit is together? You know what I'm saying? Like I've made leaps and bounds forward, especially considering where I was when I lived in Colorado. Like that kind of ties into that whole rewiring the brain thing and like especially the rave scene, bro. Cause like, man, especially when I lived with you, Nick, boy, was I living for the rave, man.
Bro.
I'd finish that rave, get home, bro, and I'm just like, damn, when's the next one? You know what I'm
Yeah, I've
saying?
got the
Fucking in the
phantom wubs in my ear.
yeah,
Fucking.
bro. In the car on the way back, scrolling through EDM train, no
Yeah.
money in my bank account. You know what I'm saying? Just like, when's the next one? When's the next
Living
one?
for the dopamine, bro.
Yeah, bro. Each time hoping that I'd find something that I didn't find the last. You know what I'm saying? And each time being disappointed that I didn't. But fucking once I sobered up, man, because like it really the sobriety started with funny enough to say, right? But the sobriety for me started with the long nights with Morrow, man, in my room. Those nights where we just sit there, we chop it up, we talk our fucking feelings out, talk our problems away. And a lot of people I think will they'll have those sessions with their friends where they'll sit down and talk about what's wrong with their life and talk about like what they could do better. And then they'll continue not doing better. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always like appreciated those nights with you, Mara. Cause every time we talked, I felt better about the direction that I was going in. And I always felt like I also was helping you do the same, you know what I'm saying? And it took a little bit of a lot of bit of indulging for us to get there. Cause we were kind of wilding, I can't lie. We were
We were wilding.
but like we would sit there, we talk about fucking sobriety, we talk about your daughter to come, we talk about relationships, we talk about the direction we wanted for ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And ultimately all of that came to pass, you know? Because if we were really
Hell yeah.
losers, we would still be there doing it right now, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, y'all came up.
And
I can't lie. I watched it.
bro, I had to, man, because like, man, I got so fucking discontent with my life, bro. Like I was working at Red Robin, you know what I'm saying? And like I always found it kind of hard to quit jobs. So I always like worked jobs until like I had to not be there no more, you know what I'm saying? But Red Robin was one of them places where like, bruh, the money wasn't even super good. The money was enough to get by with a little bit of fun money. And but like that also was because of the fucking I was scamming Red Robin like a motherfucker, dude. You know what I'm saying? I was cheating them. There was like these so the managers didn't give a fuck. They would give out their manager key for anything, right? I'd just be like, yo, let me get the manager key. They give it to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'd go do some finagling. And like there'd be times where people would leave cash. And I had this one thought one time where I was like, dude, anybody can just take that and leave. You know what I'm saying? Because these people are leaving the cash on the table and just leaving. And so I had come up with this idea to pocket that shit and just tell the managers they walked out, and the managers would comp the meal. I got the money on, allegedly, for anybody watching. And that just like that was hardly getting me by. You know what I'm saying? And then I'd go home and just fucking toke and wake up, do it again. We'll wait for the next rave. And like that fucking lifestyle was just so unhealthy, and I recognized it didn't like it was. There's a lot more like it was a lot easier to not recognize it when all my homies were there, you know what I'm saying? We had the whole fam, Elijah, Woods, Nakia, Nate, all of
We
us were,
were
you know what
all
I'm
in the
saying? We were all
same
doing it.
boat, man.
Yeah, exactly. But once them boys left for Oklahoma, and it was just because like the way it used to go was like we'd be sitting in the living room or sitting in somebody's room talking about, yo, we should go to this rave, and everybody'd be like, yeah. And then it got to be me in my room by myself talking about, ooh, I should go to this rave. Silence. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, dude, fucking. So that's initially when I quit smoking I quit smoking, and that was like the biggest step towards me fucking moving up because I quit because I wanted to quit. It wasn't like one of them things where I'm like, oh fuck, dude, like I'm getting out of hand. I've never really been addicted to smoking weed. Like I always smoked it just because I could, you know what I'm saying? It felt good. But at any given moment in my life, I was always able to just stop if I wanted to. I just never saw a reason to. And then when the reason came, and it was because I felt like my life sucked, bro, things just started getting so crystal clear to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I got kind of distant from Nate at that point because
I was the biggest
one, I was
pothead ever.
and like you'd have people over and like if people came over, they'd just be in your room smoking and like I had I started working at PF Chang's, which honestly I should have done sooner because those checks were good as fuck. But it's just working at PF Chang's kind of sucked, dude. And I'll never forget like the turning point for me. I always like people ask me about like why I joined the army, and I always tell them this story, bro, because this shit was like life changing for me, bro. We were closing, and you know how when you work in a restaurant or something, you pre-close, bro. You shut fryers down, you start cleaning before like you actually close, right? So we're pre-closing, we shut down the walk station, bro. All the fucking we're putting the veggies up, and by the time it's like 10 minutes out of closing, you're pretty much closed, right? You're just waiting for the clock to tell you so. And so we're at that point where everything's shut down, dishes are all done, shit's put up, and we're about to leave. Boom, online order, bro. $400 order, fucking everything on the menu, damn near, bro. Niggas gotta reopen the whole kitchen. Fucking, we gotta start pulling up all these dishes that we just washed, rewash them because we gotta do. Oh my goodness, bro. I was so tight. I was so tight. I'm on this walk, fucking cooking, mad as fuck. And then we ended up staying like an hour and a half longer because we had to reopen, to cook all that shit, and then reclose. You know what I'm saying? And I was just so tight. So I'm driving home, and on top of that, I don't even got a doobie to hit when I get home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm mad, bro. And as I'm driving, I'm just like, yo, just to see what's up, man. Let me go home and see what jobs there are in the military. And like, it was literally like I wasn't even serious about it, dude. I was just like curiosity, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, man, I can't keep doing this, bro. I can't just. Do I really see myself working up the corporate ladder? You know, my manager was a fucking great guy, really nice guy. He cared for his workers. You know, Darian was his name. Shout out Darian. But I could tell he wasn't happy, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because there were times where like I kind of screwed him, where I'd call out. You know what I'm saying? And he had to come in on his off day, and he wouldn't get paid extra because he's on salary. It's just his job to cover for that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And there were lots of times where I could see he wasn't happy, dude. He was a single dude, probably like mid 30s, but worked his way up the corporate ladder, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, fuck, dude. Is that where I want to go? You know what I'm saying? Is that what I want to do? And it was just so obvious that that was not what I wanted to do, bro. Like this dude was getting bounced to different kitchens because his shop shut down. Like it was his responsibility to go do all that, and he had to just listen to, you know, things, heed those orders. Like, yep. I mean, I guess it's not a whole lot better. I'm still heeding orders, right? But um,
Shit.
that's when I went home and I reached out. Well, first I reached out to an Air Force recruiter. Those fucking unicorns don't want to talk to nobody though, dickheads. And
Big
then
unicorns.
yeah, bro, they're hard to come by. But and I reached out to the Army recruiter, and bro, the Army recruiter texted me back the same night I put that application on. I'm like, damn, bitch, you up late, huh? And then come to find out that their recruiting office was literally in that fucking shopping center right around the corner. I was like, wow, I could walk to their office, you know? And so I just went in there to chop it up just to catch a feel. And like, I was liking everything they were telling me, bro, you know? And I was like, damn, dude, all right. But I've had this tendency in my life to talk about doing something, you know what I'm saying? And gas something up and then like get people around me excited for it, like especially with my family, my dad. And it became this tendency of just talking about it and then never seeing it to fruition. You know what I'm saying? And so when I decided I was going to join, bro, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell Nate. I didn't tell Jones until I signed the contract and I had a ship date. You know what I'm saying? And I still remember when I told you guys, dude. We were We were out on the balcony on the fucking patio after a long night, and then I think Jones was already talking about moving back. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna move back to Georgia in June, man." You know, and I was like, "Wow, that lines up perfectly." And I broke the news to y'all. I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm fucking I'm joining the army. I leave in June too." And like, it was honestly like such a fucking crazy way to close that chapter, that it culminated so perfectly into both of us leaving at the same time. And it's crazy to think that I guess that that chapter in your life closed, Nate, right? But that section of that story continues because you're still there, right?
Yeah.
And that was damn near 2 years ago. And bro, I've so much has gone on in my life, and I assume Jones as well, right? But like, it's just toxic environments that you gotta want for yourself to get out of, dude. And that's what I did, man. And I still feel, which is so crazy to me, there are still some feelings that reside 2 years later that I still feel. And like, what's crazy is I can't put those feelings into words other than discontent. Because I'm not content, bro. I don't know what the fuck to change, man. I just keep trying to change little things in my life, but I don't know, man. I'm still chasing that contentment.
Boy, do I fucking feel you there.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Of
That
course.
about wraps up how I'm feeling, man.
That just made me feel a whole different kind of way. It made me remember how fucking fucked up my life got after y'all left.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, damn,
Part of
everybody
why
else left
part of
and went
why
and
I
got
stayed
successful, and
in
I just
Oklahoma.
stayed here and got fucked.
Part of why I stayed behind when they went to Oklahoma was because I wanted to spend more time with you. I definitely like fell for that lifestyle and like what was going on, but like I also saw you, a man that could not get out of his own way, and I resonated with that quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like Elijah and Woods. It'd be nice to be in their life, and they liked me being in their life, but I didn't think that they needed me around. You know what I'm saying? Them boys are autonomous. They can take care of themselves, and I didn't feel that way about you, bro. And like,
Still the
there
same,
were
too.
times, yeah, there were times where it seemed like Jones was at his ends with you. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, you didn't have a whole lot going for you, and I guess I just had this savior complex, and I was just like, man, I could help this dude, man. I can do it. I feel like there's this little connection, you know. And that's when it got to a certain point where like it
You're
just
just
didn't
hurting
feel like
yourself,
my
man.
presence. Yeah, bro, it didn't feel like my presence was doing anything for you. Uh, and that was also a point where I was like, man, I gotta choose myself. I had to get out of there, man, because that shit was getting toxic for me.
Yeah. I know it. I live with me. Shit fucking... Shit's not cool.
Yeah.
What like, I mean, honestly, I hate the fact so much that I can't fucking... I feel like I can't connect with people, bro. Like I
You
can and
definitely
I
can.
do, but like it's
Hmm.
like, even on my part, it almost feels like not inauthentic, but like it's just like I don't even know how I feel. Like it's like when somebody cares about me, it's like I don't really care. Unfortunate. Like it's like there was a. I mean, it's a lot different now, but like at that time, especially me just being aware of this right now is a major jump, and any kind of reality. But like at that point, I'm like fucking. Like at that point in time, I mean, I was like fucking. Like I don't give a. I was not there for myself, let alone anybody else.
Right.
Like fucking. Like I was there, I was speaking, but like nothing, nothing fucking meaningful really. Like nothing. I I I didn't have. I didn't have a whole lot of love in my heart.
Yeah.
Like I just was an escapist. I mean, I still am, but like I fucking, I don't even know how to say it, bro. But like, I'm extremely grateful for the people that God or whatever and everything has put in my life. But like, there's that part of me that's like, I can't commit myself to fucking like be there. You know, I don't know. I literally don't understand. I still don't get it. I'm maneuvering it still currently. But like I mean, it's with my family even. Like I don't talk to them. My mom's in jail right now. That's obviously why I can't talk to her. But like, I barely talk to my dad. You know, I barely talk to my people. I've never made a real deal connection with any of my sisters. My brother is just about the only one that I've ever made like a super strong like brotherly connection with. But I can't even barely fucking talk to him. Like y'all, this little clique, you know,
Like a
this
fat one.
Discord clique, yeah, Fat Chris. He kind of looked like Adam,
Yeah.
like Fat Adam.
Yeah.
But nah, yeah, I mean, like, that's likely what this ketamine addiction and stuff is like. It's like the inner reflection of that. It's like my dissociativeness from reality and my people and just all that kind of stuff. Like I'm dissociative in nature. Like that's what ketamine has taught me. It's like I wasn't craving a dissociative. I am dissociative in a way. Like I wanted to dissociate, you know, because I am dissociative in nature. I've always dissociated myself from my family and like local friends and stuff because most of the people in my hometown aren't exactly fucking pleasures to be around, you know? Like, and I took that to the extreme and just blew out my entire fucking family and said, fuck all of this. I'm gonna go sell drugs and just be a degenerate for however long that lasted, you know? Like, I don't know, but a big part of my shit was psychedelics. And nobody cared for psychedelics where I was from. Like, that was a big thing. It's like I was on this massive trippy hippie psychedelic wave or whatever. And, you know, I put myself above a lot of the fucking stupid, like, shit. And that was wrong of me because you're not supposed to put yourself above anything. You're supposed to kind of work with it, level with it, you know, figure out why it is the way that it is rather than run from it. And I was using psychedelics as an escape rather than a tool. And that turned into ketamine, of course, a real dissociative. I was using psychedelics to dissociate rather than to explore true consciousness or whatever the fuck psychedelics are really for, you know? Maybe that's part of it, the teaching. I became aware of my dissociative nature. And then I dove into ketamine, and now I'm really aware of it. And now it's time to, you know, go back to square one. Fucking rewire that brain.
Like a figurative a-hole while literally being a-hole.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it was
This
the lesson.
what? Oh, yeah.
The
Thank you.
lesson. All right,
Oh, dude,
rebuilding
that's
brain
fucking
and
sick.
habits over time.
Hell yeah, thank you. Love you, Josh.
That's another big one. Like that ties into that because you know that was patterns that I created to escape the life that I was living as a child, and those patterns weren't healthy, and they led me to, you know, dissociating entirely from my entire life for
Sure,
at
man.
least a year. You know?
I think self-reflection and like taking a look at your history and your past and like things you went through as a child is very important to growing as an adult. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of something I'm very grateful for is now as a grown man, I can sit down with my dad and like have these talks about how he kind of fell short as a father, but where he also succeeded as a father. You know what I'm saying? And like by the grace of God, he's grown into a man who can accept those types of conversations and apologize for he did wrong, which is like so means everything in the world to me. But I think it's also important not to use that type of trauma that you went through as a kid as an excuse to continue behaving the way you behave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly true.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference between using it and that information as a way to understand yourself and how you ended up there, and then, like you said, then using it as a crutch to excuse yourself for your actions.
Yeah, it's like it was obviously given to me for a reason. I just took it way, way out of proportion and too far and did it all wrong, you know? Because, I mean, I do believe that
Yeah.
it all comes for a reason. All these addictions,
Yeah.
all these kinds of things, it doesn't, like, it's not here to just be an addiction, obviously. If it was, it'd probably kill you instantly. Why would it be this fucking long ass experience that you have to deal with for years on end if it wasn't there to fucking
Excuse me.
do something, you know?
Shape and
Like,
move you. Yeah, exactly, man.
yeah, it's a lesson.
And like, I'm definitely someone who kind of I went through a lot as a kid, and like I didn't recognize it as a kid because that was just life as I knew it. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen like so before. Honestly, before my basic training graduation, I don't have any memory of my parents ever being in the same room together. You know what I'm saying? Because they got divorced while my mom was pregnant with me, and they would do like drop offs, like weekends. They would my mom would take me over to my dad's house, you know, drop me off, or she'd come pick me up, right? But it was always a no contact drop off. It was okay, your mom's outside, oh, your dad's outside, and I'd go, you know. And something that I struggled with a lot was kind of identity issues because something as simple as my dad named me Costa, right? So when I was with my dad and my dad's side of the family, Costa, 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 right? But my mom named me Seu. So if I was with my mom's side of the family, Seu, 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 you know? And each time I would get picked up by the other, it was damn near like I was going into this different personality of mine, you know what I'm saying? And because in the Samoan culture, the the sons are the prized child, you know what I'm saying? The son is the favorite always, and I'm my mom's firstborn son. And to this day, I am most like I'm pretty sure I'm my mom's favorite. Like I talked to like even my younger siblings, like when I visited them in Seattle, they tell me the same thing. Like, yeah, but your mom's favorite. Your mom's favorite. Mom always talks about you like this, you know. And but when I went to my dad's side of the family, it was always my sister Zoe who was the prized child, you know, the golden child. She was always in these advanced classes, getting good grades, you know what I'm saying, doing this, that, and that at school. Oh, your sister got this award. You should be more like your sister. Your sister did this. You should be more like your sister. You know what I'm saying? So there was a point where Costa wanted to go be Seu because Seu was adored. You know what I'm saying? And Seu could do whatever he wanted. But when Costa got home, Costa had to, you know, fit in the mold and get in where I fit in. And that was just something I dealt with a lot as a kid. And I know that's like the my saving grace that I'm like so grateful for to this day is the fact that I didn't go through that alone. You know what I mean? My sister Zoe, she's my only full sibling. So she's the only person that fully understands what I went through, even to because she had it the exact opposite way, you know what I mean? She had the same name, but when we were at dad's house, she had the praise and all the good stuff. But at mom's house, you know, the women in the Samoan culture aren't as cherished, you know, they're homekeepers. So when Zoe was there, Zoe had to help with dishes, clean this, clean that, you know, while I was just off doing whatever I wanted. Most of the time I was playing football with my cousins because that's
Tua.
the Samoan dream, man. Yeah, it's the Samoan dream is get your boys in the league. And my family succeeded. Shit.
Tua,
But
man.
yeah, and Tua's not even the only one who's been in the NFL. My other cousin, Myron, he played for the Raiders,
Oh, shit.
albeit short lived. He was still there, you know. And to his brother, like all of them, all my fucking, and that's what my mom wanted for me. My mom wanted a future of football for me. But what sucked was my dad's side of the family. Well, the decisions were kind of ran by my nana, my dad's mom, because she didn't want me. Didn't want me to get hurt. You know, so she had all these horror stories and pretty much just, no, you're not gonna do this. And I was like, all right, well, fuck me. I got to watch like it never fully felt like I was a part of either side of the family. You know what I mean? And that was kind of hard for me growing up.
I see.
Uh,
You didn't get the full Samoan
experience on either
experience.
side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just got
exactly.
kind of halfway through.
And that's what, and like, so what had happened was something happened between my sister and some other stuff in my another member of my family, my mom's side of the family, when I was maybe fifth or sixth grade. And because of that, my mom, because at this point, my dad had full custody. And my mom, we'd see my mom twice, 2 weekends a month, every other weekend, go to my mom's house. And then when we had like time off of school and shit, we would do like split time. And when what happened, my mom lost what little custody she had. You know what I mean? And that was when I was in fifth or sixth grade, like I said. And that was really hard because all of a sudden, like, they didn't even tell me really what had happened. You know what I mean? But what had happened had nothing to do with me, so I found it kind of hard to accept. And but I was fucking what, like 10 years old, if that. So it's like, how could you expect a kid to fully understand the gravity of the situation? And I got chastised for it by my dad and my dad's side of the family. But I was just a kid, dude. I was trying to, I didn't understand. But there came a point where they said that my mom could regain some form of custody and see us again under supervision if she went and spoke with the shrink, and like she talked to a therapist for a little bit. And my mom chose not to do that. She was like, no, I'm not doing that. And ultimately kind of forfeited any potential of seeing us again. And because of that, the rest of my childhood, she wasn't a part of. So I definitely dealt with abandonment issues there, because I was just like, why? And I feel like any kid would wonder why. And my dad was kind of like very, very unforgiving about the situation. He didn't give a fuck. He was just, because my dad, as long as I've known, my dad's hated my mom. You know what I mean? And so he would throw all that shit in my face, like, "Yeah, your mom did this, your mom did that, your mom doesn't want to see you." And it was just like, fuck, dude. Well, fuck me then, huh? I guess I'm
Like,
not
that
worth
doesn't
shit.
make it any fucking better.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just kind of the way my dad's always been. And like he, yeah, dude, to this day, because I remember like, when I told him I didn't believe him when he told me that, and this dude fucking pulled out court documents and showed me the court documents, and I was like, wow, well, fuck me. And yeah, I guess that just all ties back into childhood trauma. And like, I've been able to recognize a lot of issues in relationships and in life, like that fear of abandonment, man. That shit's fucking followed me to this day. I've gotten a lot better with it, but it's still a scary thing for me,
Yeah.
you know?
You've already
So
started our next topic with that, facing the void or trauma, and why people avoid it. Addressing the link between trauma and addiction, you know?
mm,
Like that stuff we all went through as Jit Yangs, many little Jit Yangs. It made us who we are. Made us this,
for
whatever,
sure.
whatever,
Whatever we are.
yeah, you wouldn't likely be where you are if that court case or document or whatever never happened, you know?
Yeah, exactly. For sure, dude.
Like these things, I can relate extremely well because, like, my mom basically, I'm not going to say she abandoned me, but,
Mm,
like, I kind of abandoned her in a way, because
mm,
I wasn't cool with being around the kind of lifestyle and stuff that they were living. They were poor as fuck, living in a shanty basically. No fucking internet, no fucking, barely any fucking, good healthy food or whatever. There was, I can't just say it was absolutely terrible, but like I just, I saw my dad, and this is the crazy thing is I hated my dad so much. He was the meanest, most alcoholic, fucking drug-ridden asshole ever, but I still chose to live with him over my fucking mom. I didn't even know she was on drugs until like last year, when she got arrested, and then she got arrested again this year, and it all just makes me, it brings me back to, like, that is probably the reason that I, like, dipped out, and chose to live with the fucking horrors of my dad rather than seeing my mom like that, with fucking, her husband at the times. I didn't really like him too much, but, like, he's not a horrible guy. He's also obviously also just, like, drug ridden and fucked and, between God knows what. I mean, fucking, I know they were definitely on meth, and they smoked weed all the time, rolling up joints 24/7 in front of us, smoking in the fucking shit. It was very, very likely that that was a good thing that brought me to pot as well, besides genetics and my mom just fucking loving weed her whole life. Like, all that stuff was in front of me, and not very talked about. So, I mean, eventually I chose to go to dad's, and he always preached me never doing drugs. He always preached never doing drugs. I didn't know he was on drugs either. He was just alcoholic in my head. But all this was, I don't know, bringing it back to the point, addressing the link between trauma and addiction. That is easily, me just not even fucking knowing that they were on drugs. Like, they could have told me, like, and drugs wouldn't have ever become such a thing in my life. They hid it all from me for the longest time. Obviously, besides being a drunk, raging alcoholic, of course. Like, you can't hide that from anybody. But that wasn't my biggest their biggest issues, obviously. That's just the only one I saw from my dad. But all this leading to say, if I had literally just the slightest bit more awareness of all of that rather than it being just normal and untalked about, I wouldn't have been so fucking traumatized by discovering that my fucking family is all drug addicts, and then eventually, just falling into addiction because of that. Like, this shit all connects in my head. It all just, like, slowly brings you to now, of course, and trauma.
Yeah.
It's hard to speak about, honestly. Fucking
I get it.
I wish I could just speak clearly, damn it. Fuck.
It takes a lot of acceptance to be able to talk about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And, like, accepting reality isn't always that easy.
It's not, man.
Word.
That's why Madara Uchiha did what he did, man.
Word.
You know? But really, man, it's that shit. Yeah, and I think it was like something we talked about earlier, actually. But just being around shit like drugs or alcohol a lot as a kid, just being exposed to all that definitely does something to you, even if subconsciously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's lots of evidence to support that theory, and for me, it was fucking my dad being a chain smoker, dude. And that I was thinking about this last night. It was kind of a fucked up thing. I was had just finished drinking and I was pretty sauced and smoked a cigarette. It's really fucked up, right? But, like, the smell of cigarettes will always remind me of my dad, dude. You know what I mean? I remember getting, like, excited or happy because, like, I'd smell it and I'd recognize it as him. You know what I mean? And there's no way that didn't contribute to me smoking in my life.
Yeah.
And so, even, like, your dad just saying not to do drugs and shit, even though you don't know, there's wavelengths that travel, man. You know what I mean? Again, even in the subconscious, and because you associate certain behaviors with the adults of your life that you look up to. You know what I mean? And chalk it all up to normal behavior. So that shit stays with you, man.
Yeah. I remember
But again,
cigarettes being the worst thing in my life. Good
really?
God. I remember all the car
Hmm.
rides. I can remember the feeling of like having the window as cracked as they would let me have it, and like fucking having my mouth and nose just up to it trying to fucking breathe. I'm pretty sure I had like, I might even still have it, I don't know, but I feel like when I was a kid I had some kind of like lung or asthma issues or some shit. Cause boy, when they smoked cigarettes around me, I'd be about ready to fucking implode. Like it felt like I literally was gonna like explode from the inside because of like the feeling of it going into my lungs. Like it was so horrible. I can vividly remember it. Like, and I don't know, I don't know what I was gonna bring that to in relation to anything, but like it's just a fun little, like, yeah, that should fucking. I'd never have liked cigarettes, but the vapes, maybe it's got something to do with that. You know, it was like, yeah, that shit made me a nicotine addict. All right, but like I could not fucking smoke cigarettes. You know, I still can't. This shit makes my lungs feel like it's closing for like a whole like 4 hours after I smoke it.
Man, that drunk cigarette hit something different, boy.
The
Let me
acid
tell you.
cigarette, bro. Oh my god.
Oh my God, dude, you just drink them shits. You don't even feel the fucking smoke going into your lungs, dude. Swear to God, I've one drag cigarettes off acid.
It's like that scene from Big Les Show and the fucking
Yeah,
assassin just.
literally, bro. Fucking one drag on that shit. I know Elijah knows what the fuck we're talking about, dude.
What you talking about?
I've, I,
A drunk cigarette?
nah, well, that's how it started, but then we started talking about them Sid cigarettes, boy.
Oh.
Cigarettes. I'm gonna go take a quick
I
pee
was saying, I'm like, bro, you don't
Oh.
even feel that smoke
Yeah.
entering your lungs, boy.
Nah.
That shit
Drink
is
them
fucking.
bitches down.
Yeah,
It's like
bro.
life medicine though, bro. You
I
smoke that
swear.
first cigarette going on to a peak, you're like, oh my god, dude, fuck
Yeah, bro.
yeah, bro.
You straight up, you one dragging that shit, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a different. I'll never forget this fucking story. I don't remember if it was Chase that it happened to, or if it was somebody else, bro. But this was way back when I was first doing acid, like 15, bro.
Mm.
And yeah, it was somebody else, and Chase was over there, bro. And he was telling me about this story, bro. So me and him were having that conversation about how crucial a fucking cigarette is while you're tripping. He was like, bro, yeah, there was one dude that was hanging out with us who had the pack, right? And he was getting ready to go. And this one dude was like in the other room and was trying to tell him to wait for that cigarette. And the dude's like getting ready to end up leaving. Bro came running at like the fastest sprint, ended up hitting like a brick. Dude flew like 10 feet in the air from the momentum, like forward, and just straight on the gravel sidewalk, just trying to go get a cigarette from bro before he left.
Understandable, man. That's
I was like,
completely
honestly, bro, I'm
understandable,
not
man.
even like confused, bro. I know where he was at. Bro said, hold up, the cigarettes are leaving and I didn't get one. Hold up. Hold
Oh
up.
my god, can
Come
we talk
here.
about the fiendery of like nicotine when you don't have it and you're watching somebody else like smoke that shit, bro?
Oh, dude, yeah.
God.
It's
Bro,
like could have been fine. Could have been fine without
could
it.
have been fine.
And then you see somebody and you're like, God
Damn, and it's like
dang,
a
bro.
random person or some shit too. You're like, I'm not
Yeah,
finna
bro.
walk up to this motherfucker and
Doesn't
ask
You
look
to
know
hit
it's
their
friendly at
bad,
shit.
bro.
all.
You know it's bad when you suck up that pride, you hit him with that broken out piece at your vape.
Dude, I've watched Costa do that shit before, actually. I remember we were walking home from a show one time, and Costa hits a random dude with the vape thing, and he started to try to get angry and like try to fight him or some shit. And Costa's just talking
Me?
shit as we were walking across the street. Yes.
I was trying to fight somebody,
No,
dude. I
you
don't
weren't
I
trying to
see.
fight somebody. Somebody
He
was
tried to
mad at
fight
you.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
You're like,
Yeah,
he's
man,
trying to
like
fight me because I asked for his vape? Like, fuck you. You just like blew it, like did a little moment on him and just kept on walking.
because like I understand I'm feeling, man, but just like chill, you know?
You could just say
Yeah.
no, bro. You could just say
Yeah.
no.
Bro,
I
that's so
think
like
that's exactly
that's
what you
what
said, actually. Like, you could have just said no, dickhead.
because what blows me, right, is I have yet to ask
Whoa.
somebody to hit their vape at a rave, right? And be told no. You
Oh
ask
yeah.
anybody, bro,
Yeah.
because you ask them and they're like, yeah, bro, yeah. And like, but so I remember like having those thoughts, right? And like that culture, I guess, so to speak, right? And I had gotten to
Yeah.
Korea for the first time. And this dude had a vape, bro, and I was fiending, you know? I was drunk. I went to, hey man. you mind if I hit that? They can start laughing at me, dude. And I'm like, man, that's not nice. You could just say no. And like I think I tried a few more times like throughout my time in Korea. Not a single person ever told me yes, you know? And I was just like, man, I miss the rave people. That's unreal.
Bro, that was so like, look, bro, like y'all, I know we had a little bit of going out when we were in Germany, but that was mostly like, right, we were going out and we weren't talking to other people.
We would go out with each other, get
Yeah, we
fucked
go
up.
with a group, right? So it didn't fucking
Yeah.
matter, bro. There was no social interaction. So I had the opposite, bro. Like that was my first whole times really out, bro. Was just kind of going out by myself in Germany and going out by myself in Virginia, or not Virginia, Colorado, before I ever found the rave scene. And that's why the feeling that I got going into the rave scene was so significant for me. That it was like, bro, there's no like, people aren't fucking weird here, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people treat each other the way that I would, like I try to treat other people, right? So if that's like I would much rather be around people that even if some of them are just doing it to fit in, fuck it.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you're still being nice. I appreciate
Yeah.
it, right?
Let's fit in. Let's fit in together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, I think that was one of the most significant reasons. We had talked about that last Sunday about what really brought us into the rave scene. And that, for me, 100% was always just the way that people were so much more inviting and considerate to
Yeah.
each other in the way that I kind of more so hope that the larger parts of society can act.
Oh yeah, bro, for
Dude, it's
sure.
also the worst part and the downfall to it too, bro, because people would just fucking,
Take advantage.
yeah, or like hand out drugs like it's candy and like me, like a fucking idiot, and just like fucking people's lives up. In all actuality. Like, it depends on the thing, of course, but like, I feel like that acceptance and stuff has polarity as well. Like, it's just as good as it is bad, you know?
It's every good thing, right? There needs to be moderation in any good thing that you're doing, or it can end up getting out of hand, right?
Yeah,
Too much
bro.
acceptance without a baseline is problematic, right? Because then you start accepting shit that really shouldn't be accepted. There should, like, bro,
Yeah,
truthfully,
like
there should
orgy
not be a
tents.
society. Yes, bro. There should not be a society where there is no shame, right? Shame has an integral part to society, right? To
For
kind of
sure,
keep
for sure.
people in at least some sort of line. Like I don't think that everything that's kind of negative should be necessarily shamed on or people should like dwell on it. But like, yo, if y'all are doing an orgy tent, whatever, that shit should not be fucking normalized, right? Like I shouldn't just hear that and then everyone's like, oh yeah, bro, it's the orgy tent. Like, bro, what, bro? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's the orgy tent, brother. Like, I don't know.
No
So
man.
that's just
I'm
that's the
a
focus of fixation. But there's plenty of different moments, right? That acceptance just goes too far, especially even in the addiction standpoint, right? Too many people are too caught up in their own stuff there that no one's ever gonna hold anybody else accountable for their use.
Exactly,
yeah.
bro. The lack of
I'm a, I'm a
inhibition.
I'm gonna take a look around that orgy tent though first, see if there's any baddies.
No, bro, that smell gonna have me sick, bro.
Ugh.
Yeah, you think a tent
I don't
with
know.
a bunch of people
I don't
like
know,
Oh
coach.
no,
smelling
Just
Danny.
feet?
because when me and Jose got invited one year, them bitches were not pretty, bruh. They were like some
I'm
older
I'm
white
gonna keep I'm gonna
bitches.
keep it a stack though, my boy. If you getting invited, I'm not going.
That's crazy.
On God.
I'm not trying to see you throwing some shit, and I'm not trying to see Jose pull my dick out of bitch so he can
Oh
put his
my
in there.
god, no.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bruh.
Yeah, I think orgy tents are for the birds.
And on top of that, bruh, I don't
Free
need y'all to see
spirited,
me in that
very
horny
free
state of mind. You
spirited.
feel me? You know? So I'm gonna be in there on some devil time, man. I can't
That's
lie.
horrible.
It's like next thing you know,
That's
Danny's getting
horrible.
turned around and penetrated.
Oh
Fucking, like,
no.
Bro,
whoa.
That's
that's like
wild.
the
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
nah,
Bubba.
bruh. Then he looks
See,
back and it's me.
that as well, that would be a bigger problem, right? It's like, bro, I'm not as accepting as half these people. If I get even grabbed by a man, I'm fighting. I'm
Yeah,
fucking
bruh.
you in the orgy tent, my boy. Like, Yo, the moment I'm touched by a man, I'm like, I don't care, bruh.
Hey, this is
You
just
Do you
touch me.
remember when
another
we went to
example.
Do you remember when we went to Okeechobee and we were walking through the campgrounds and they had a big ass tent, like probably like the size of yours, with them upside down pineapple flags, and then fat
Oh
girls, they're
no.
sitting on the. You don't remember this, where the fat girls are sitting on the lawn chairs just scoping out the fucking scene, bro.
Oh god.
Man.
Oh no.
And we're like, oh, I guess we found orgy Chobe.
Okeechobee.
It's horrible.
Yeah, bro. That was one of the
Okeechoke me.
moments where I was like, "Fuck, dude, I can't do that, dude. You got me fucked up, man." Ooh.
See, that's also one of those things with drugs and addiction that comes, the lack of inhibition for the self. Then you find
Sure,
next
dude.
thing you know, you find yourself in an orgy tent. It's like meth heads. It's often, very often, that meth heads end up like fucking doing some gay shit for some meth or whatever the fuck. They just it's
Yeah.
it's in the drug book to like lose inhibition when it comes to all that. Like it's one of those things. Like it's like you'll end up like fucking rubbing some old man's feet or some shit for a couple bucks just so you can get high or whatever the fuck. Like they just find themselves, or really deep addiction, like deep drug addiction motherfuckers find themselves in positions that they would have never ever gotten into if they weren't fucking high as shit. you know and they can be very bad. Can be.
Very bad.
Can be very bad. Just wait till BB voice comes out. Oh god. You will be spared. You will be spared. If you're watching the stream right now, you will be spared. You will be spared. I'm not committing genocide. I'm just ethnically cleansing my holy land. My home holy land. Alright, next! Let's talk about adaptogenic mushrooms and neuroplasticity. Stuff like that, real quick.
I think you're gonna be our subject matter expert on that for
Yeah, I was
sure.
about to say, where that one kind of goes over my head.
Yep, that's why I'm here. Alright, we're gonna whip out this link real quick. Because I did bring a link wherever it went.
Nick.
There you are. Alright. Adaptogenic mushrooms. Let me bring the stream back up on here. Come on. There we go. Stream's back up. And boom. Here we are. Am I a robot? Definitely not.
No.
Don't think so. Neuroplasticity and psychedelics. Well, neuroplasticity, basically, I can give a quick little, let's see if there's an actual, the ability of the nervous system to adapt through an organism's lifespan offers potential, I thought that was going to be the fucking definition. But no, basically, the ability of the nervous tissue to modify over the course of an organism's life is referred to as neuroplasticity. Okay, so that is the definition, essentially. The way I see it, though, neuroplasticity can be, like, shut off, by things, such as, like drugs, like ketamine. Well, actually, ketamine is extremely neuroplastic, but I'm more on the pill side, like things like Xanax, the opiates, the benzos, all that good kind of stuff. I feel like that literally like takes neuroplasticity, throws it straight out the window. Because a lot of this has to do with like, why people end up on Xanax and all that stuff is because they're shutting down that part of the brain that wants to make a change. All right, it's literally like putting a band-aid over the change instead of actually making the change. And the way I see neuroplasticity is like taking that band-aid off and being able to see all that stuff that you're band-aiding. And it's like, essentially, especially with psychedelic mushrooms, of course, it's like having a portal into your own mind, like into your subconscious and all your patterns and all that stuff. Whereas the opiates and all that, it shuts you off completely from that. You are just drone mode, all right? And there's like a spectrum that I've been working on. I haven't like fully finished it yet, but I got like a left, right, and center spectrum of all of the drugs that like, you know, humans use. And I'm kind of coming up with ones that are like, look, actually you can see it right here. There's a bunch, right? There's a few. Fucking ketamine, MDMA, we know classic psychedelics. All these things are really neuroplastic, and so when you take them, it literally like is fucking it's like having your whole life story right in front of you and being able to see what affected and changed you to become this way. And then the actual act of neuroplasticity is like having that happen often, just like you were to be like a drug addict on perk, Xan, whatever the fuck. Except you're not hiding from it. It's literally like a roadmap, and like a fucking. I'm using like the drug addict explanation first because most of these people don't even know half of the fucking science words. I definitely fucking don't, for the most part. But it's neuroplasticity, man. It's what it sounds like. It's being able to fucking access all your patterns and all your fucking stuff and slowly make, you know, differences in them. Like it like loosens your patterns because it throws you so far in the fucking present moment rather than taking you so far out of it, you know, like other drugs. Yeah, you get the picture, bro. Neuroplasticity, man. Did anybody get the picture? Because I feel like I really butchered that. I didn't really have a plan there. This is where I should have planned yesterday. This is where I definitely should have had a planned part because I really like this topic. I just fucking didn't have any bullet points or anything to actually fucking talk about. I just wrote it down. Fucking.
Imagine, you know, when you get like Invisalign or like a custom mouth guard fitting.
Yeah.
The mold they use.
Oh yes, you get to see the mold.
Imagine that for your brain.
Yes.
It just adapts and you know, it molds to what's going on with your brain, but it has that plasticity to where it's not going to change it to be one specific type of way.
Yeah, it allows you.
It's however you form
to
said
morph
mold.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it gives us that access. Anything that's neuroplastic, and like a lot of other mushrooms and things and that are actually neuroplastic too. Like fucking, like reishi, cordyceps, turkey tail, reishi, lion's mane, and of course psilocybin, of course. But like, you know, hyperplasticity, man. What is this diagram? Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Functional neuroplasticity. See, this is why I can't be a scientist or anything, bro.
Chris saw homo and got scared.
No. Homosynaptic. Short-term plasticity, long-term plasticity. Like, wow, there's a lot that goes into this shit that I really probably should have studied before fucking trying to talk about it. Fuck. Oh. Yeah, that's one of the lessons we're learning on this Sunday. For the more important
do your research,
scientific topics. Yeah, do your research, twin.
I mean, you definitely seem passionate about the subject. Maybe just not as informative as you thought you were.
Yeah, no, like
Maybe it was just like a little fucking K thought ramble.
I've very much experienced neuroplasticity because ketamine is one of the fucking extremely neuroplastic drugs. Like it's the way I see ketamine in my life with neuroplasticity is literally like I came from such a fucked up like perspective in life that I needed that fucking plasticity and like memory wipe from all that shit to create the person that I'm going to become, you know? Like that neuroplasticity from ketamine is literally like it's been me becoming aware of all of those things that I already was, you know, and fucking allowing me to see it head on rather than like fucking I don't know, fucking Because really, ketamine, I could say I was running from my trauma all I want with it, but that shit was fucking putting me in my trauma. Like, it threw me in head first a lot of times. Like, and I feel like that affected my plasticity when it comes to, like, all I wanted to be was a drug dealer. All I wanted to do was this, or, I wanted to be this psychedelic preacher or whatever the fuck. When really all that stuff's extremely unrealistic to live by. I didn't want to actually be a fucking massive drug dealer. I didn't want any of that kind of stuff. I didn't want, like, you know, I there was a lot of things I was living by before I got into ketamine that it just isn't fucking it isn't good for a human to live through. And I think that neuroplasticity is exactly what my soul or whatever the fuck was grabbing for with the ketamine, and it had to do that so I could wipe all of that shit out and literally rewire my brain, like, fucking to become what I'm becoming now. This fucking podcast, fucking shithead, spacecaster, fucking whatever you want to call it. Like, this is what I actually like doing. This is what I want to do, And I wouldn't have got to this point at all if I never fucking did what I did. And like, I don't know. It all plays into this fucking story, Whatever it is, the story of life. My life and your all's lives. It's fucking interesting, cunt. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Neuroplasticity, cunt. Yeah, I'm gonna study that next time and actually fucking break it down more. Fucking.
Have a way to talk about it for real.
Yeah, now, I mean, like, really, me putting it on the list to talk about today was literally just putting it on the list. Like, I probably should have did a lot more. But now we know. Now we know. This was the first time we ever had a super structured one anyways, too, so, like, fucking learn as you go, All these topics and stuff that I've always had in my brain since, like, fucking I don't know when. It's all, like, stuff that I've always loved, but I've been so distracted with all the drug shit and the addiction and all that I never actually dove in and really taught myself about it. So I guess that's just part of today's lesson, Part of today's little Sunday service vibration. Neuroplasticity, baby.
Where did Morrow go, bro? I didn't even notice bro left.
Shit, who knows, man?
Did he say something?
He's not here no more. He's not here no more. He's probably watching on the stream, though.
Man.
He probably had some baby stuff come up or something.
So baby mama drama.
Some baby stuff.
Yeah, hate when that happens, man.
Alright, I reckon we've been going for a while. I got just like a couple more things to fucking to hop on, to end on a good note, on some things that I can do, we all can do to kind of, build a life that you don't want to escape from, which also, of course, ties into that closing out the rewiring the brain and breaking those patterns. What are some daily routines? What's some daily routines that an average human? Let's start with Costa, of course, because you're clearly, you're in a daily routine. You're in a lively routine with fucking the army. Like, they keep you nice and strict and spick and span over there. So, like, what are some daily routines and stuff that y'all do that, keep you grounded as a military man, that can't do anything,
So I'll be so fucking honest, bro. When it comes to my routine, I'm really, really good at it, right? During the week. But the weekends come and I'm a fucking chud, dude. Like it's like bad, right? But so my weekly routine is so far, my daily routine, I guess, is that I just wake up, and the military prioritizes giving you time to conduct personal hygiene. And as when I was younger And like shit, even like just when I was in Colorado, I didn't really prioritize personal hygiene a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? I never was a stinky boy. I never allowed myself to become a stinky boy, but like little shit, man, like fucking skincare or fucking brushing, flossing, and because bro, flossing is important, man. Flossing is like one could argue more
That's a
important than
problem
brushing.
in my life.
Yeah, man. And I was blessed enough to get free dental care. And so I went in and the dentist hit me with the goddamn boy, you don't floss. And I was like, fuck, well, you got me. But it was also my first dentist trip since I was in fucking like middle school, probably, bro. Cause like, who the fuck becomes an adult and goes to the dentist on their own accord? You know what I mean? It's a yearly requirement for soldiers and shit to go to the dentist. So I had to go. But yeah, and obviously physical fitness is definitely something that also needs to be prioritized, and it is in the military. So you got to be at work 09. You know what I'm saying? Do your work, and then go after work. I tried getting into the routine of going to the gym in the morning, but god damn, do I love my sleep, man. Even if it's just an extra hour, I appreciate that extra hour. An hour is a long time to sleep.
Yeah, that
So
circadian rhythm, bro.
yeah, no bullshit, man. And so after all that, going to the gym, I go uh I go 5 times a week. I'm trying to get into a running routine, man, because hot dog am I a shitty runner, dude. And like it's like running is very important in the military, and it's one thing I fucking hate, dude. Fucking hate running, dude. I've never liked running. Like who the fuck likes running? Faggots, that's who. But yeah, I'm trying to get into a routine of running, and that's I think when it comes to routine, the hardest thing is just keep doing it. You know,
Yeah,
and
routine building is so hard.
yeah, exactly. Right now, I'm trying to lose weight. That's an active goal in my life, and I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. But
12 pounds in a couple months or a month or man.
yeah, and
And
like
you did that
two and a
without
half
trying.
months, dude. No, I was absolutely trying, dude. I've been cutting calories like a motherfucker, dude. I'm down to like 2,000 calories a day, which is still not as aggressive as a cut as it could be. But I think that's still like a fucking,
Gotta hop on
depending on
that
how much
Danny
I'm working
cut.
out, right? Yeah, no, I
Danny
don't.
on that. Danny on
Um,
that 1,600 calories a day, boy.
yeah,
Don't get
I
mad.
don't.
I've been doing 1600 pussy.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my comment to myself because I love you, brother. No,
Look at bro, man.
I don't
Arguably
need that.
close to
I don't.
you,
I
a
don't
big
need that
ass
aggressive in the
motherfucker.
cut. And I am, dude. I don't look like it,
You're just
and
stout.
that's something. Yeah, bro. But like, I guess the fat just goes to my legs a lot, and my body's not accustomed to this weight. My legs. That's why like running is so difficult for me right now. But also, it's like just gotta get out there and do it. Starting is the hardest part. Like just fucking going from walking to running. That shit's hard. But yeah, I'm because my what was it? My fucking forget what it's called. I think it's like BWI or BMI or something.
Oh, the weight body
Just
mass or whatever.
no, not my body. It's like basically the amount of calories that your body requires in order to function, right? And
Bro,
at,
I've been muted for so long. Fuck.
I've been wondering why you've been quiet. But do you know that term I'm trying to use? The fucking
BMI, your body mass index.
but is that what tells you like how many calories you require in a day?
No,
No, the
that's your
body
base
mass
metabolic
index
rate.
just
That's your
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, your
BMR.
metabolic. Yes.
BMR.
It's your resting metabolic rate or something like that, right?
Base
Or your
metabolic
base,
rate.
base. Okay, yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
you're
Resting
yeah.
supposed
is
to
what you do when you're not doing
Right,
shit.
exactly. And
just
like
living, what you
if
burn.
I don't do anything at all, my resting metabolic rate is about 1,800 calories, I think.
Me too.
And so if I were to like literally wake up, not leave bed, go back to sleep at the end of the day, I'd have burned 1,800 calories. But obviously, I'm not a fucking loser, so I'm not doing that. Um, if anybody watching is doing that, please seek help. But
I mean,
when you incorporate all the fucking the exercise that's put in. And on top of that, I have a 10K steps goal that I try to reach daily. And that right there is probably like 600 calories, give or take, maybe a little more, that I'm burning just off steps alone, right? And that doesn't include the workout that I do. Unfortunately, I'm having a lot harder of a time tracking how many calories are burnt from working out, because I mean,
That's a
you
difficult
don't,
one.
yeah, it's a difficult one to track unless it's like fucking like riding a bike or walking or running, right? But yeah, that's a like, but like realistically, lifting weights doesn't burn a whole lot of calories in and of itself unless it's worked in a certain way. But you know what I mean? But like, mm,
It's
Lifting
like
weights
cardio.
arguably burns more calories than running.
What?
yeah, that's
I
not
learned
I
this
true.
thought
in high school
cardio. I
from
thought
Pinnell.
cardio
I
was like the
guarantee it.
fucking shit.
Cardio is absolutely way better at burning calories. Like
Let's see what's
if
popping. What is the question?
so, it's not a
What is more
question.
efficient?
Yeah, what's a more efficient way of burning calories? Cardio or lifting
Scientifically.
weights? And 10 times out of 10, the answer is going to be cardio. There's no, bro, you like literally just hopping on an incline walk. You do that shit, you're going to burn way more calories than a whole fucking sitting of a chest day. You know what I'm saying? And the only way that you could argue otherwise is if you're doing like interval training, right? Or like you're lifting weights in a fast pace, which is quite literally cardio disguised as weightlifting. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
And
That's no, it's
Fair.
just more so weightlifting. If you're doing sets of power cleans looped in with fucking dumbbell presses, that's just better.
Well, so and here's the bigger thing that you start running into, right? And that's where a lot more of that newer information came out, where there was more of an argument. Is like per session, you're gonna burn more calories doing cardio, but what the weight training does to your actual metabolism long term is going to be more significant, right? Because the more lean mass that you have, the higher that base metabolic rate is going to end up being. So long term, muscle building and weight lifting is going to be better for your overall actual health and continuation of
I
right.
see
burning
that. But if
calories.
you're like
But
just
if you're
trying to burn
well,
calories and get that fat
calories
gone,
out, you're talking about calories out in a 1 hour session. Cardio is going to win every time.
Cardio is going to win every single time.
Yeah.
And there's quite literally no way that you could convince me otherwise, because it doesn't make
It's
sense.
hard to
And
stay at an aerobic rate doing weight training
exactly,
regardless either,
exactly,
though. You
because
know what I
you're
mean?
resting in between.
You're not doing 150 push-ups straight, right?
Yeah.
Most people aren't, you
And
know?
again,
So it's not a cardio effect.
any way that you could get your fucking weightlifting to an anaerobic state is fucking cardio disguised.
It's
Yeah,
really
It's
it
quite
is.
not though.
literally.
It's literally just circuit training. As an athlete, brother, it's
Circuit
literally
training
not.
is cardio disguised as weightlifting.
It just simply isn't,
You're
because you're
going at
not
a
doing
fast
any
pace.
cardio exercise. The only thing you're actually exercising cardio wise is just your heart rate's going up.
So again, I say it is cardio disguised as
That makes
weightlifting.
any
Well, guess
workout
what,
fucking
guys?
cardio if your heart rate goes.
guess
then.
what, guys? All
Quite
these are made
literally.
up words by stupid scientists, and
literally.
everything's healthy for you if you just move. It doesn't fucking
I
matter.
agree. I agree. All I'm saying is you're going to burn more calories doing cardio. Now, when it comes to retaining muscle,
Let's go. Sorry, I just scored a goal.
an incline walk is much more efficient than running, right? Which is where my predicament comes in, because I'd like to retain muscle and gain muscle, but I'm forced to run, and that requires a lot of
bulk.
carbs.
Dirty.
Yeah, dude,
bulk.
I'm not
That's
trying
how
to
you do it in
bulk.
football.
I'm not trying to bulk. I'm already overweight. You know what I mean? And
No, I'm saying you're trying to improve your running, but still, maintain your muscle. Hit a dirty bulk.
yeah, it's just
That's really like
I'm having to
the
choose
best way
one or
to
the
do that
other,
shit.
because well, really, I
Going
don't
from
have to choose one or
football
the other,
season
but
to track season, I would, you would think I'd try and cut down, but no, I'd literally just hit a dirty bulk and it'd kind of even out my running to body mass proportions. And it worked out
yeah.
so well every year.
Right now for me, it's just like my priority is definitely a lot more on the losing the fat, and honestly, like if I can just keep the muscle that I do have. I'm not extremely concerned about putting on muscle right now because, like, I mean, bodybuilding's never really appealed to me. I think it's nice to have muscle and like look good, right? But like, I'm not trying to be this fucking dude lifting insane amounts of weight. You know, as long as I look good and I feel good, bro, and I can perform well, I'm content, dude. But
So you
right
just want to
now,
keep an athletic physique.
yeah, exactly. I'm probably sitting at about 19% body fat right now. I'd love to get that down to about 14, 15. And if I can get even down to like 12, 13, my goodness gracious, I'd be very happy. But yeah, so that means as of right now, my goal is to just lose fat, dude. And just the being at Fort Bragg, bro, everybody runs, everybody's a runner, everyone's fucking beasts. Like my homie literally just yesterday ran a half marathon with an average pace of like 7:30. And like I was like,
Ooh,
yeah, you're fucking dude. I'm like, yeah,
that
fuck you, bro.
half marathon, fucking
Yeah.
7:30. Jesus Christ, man, my
Yeah, bro.
fault.
And
Fuck a
then
marathon.
my other homie did a half marathon same day, half marathon with an average of a 9:30 pace, which is still pretty good. But he was wearing a
A plate.
Wait, best
plate. Yeah,
Yeah.
plated vest, exactly. Y'all already know, man.
animal,
And
animal.
that's the environment that I'm in. You know what I'm saying? And fucking last week I ran 2 miles with an average pace of about 9:30. And that shit killed me. You know what I'm saying? It's rough. It's rough out here. But
Tis rough.
ultimately it just comes down to what I want and how much work I'm willing to put in and discipline, bro. Discipline. As a
Discipline.
kid,
The big D.
I very, very much lacked discipline, dude. My dad will fucking be the first to tell you, bro. And that's also where addiction comes in, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, when you're a very disciplined
discipline,
person, it's much easier to kick an addiction.
exactly, bro. So I've just been trying to hammer that into myself. So I think it's also very good that I don't have like a whole lot of distractions out here right now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and the
Because very
military is great for that, dude. Like, fuck.
yeah,
If you
dude.
get
But you'd
anything from the
also
military, it's
you'd
the
be so
VQs.
surprised at how many fucking chuds are in the army or in the military in general, bro. Bunch of
Chud
fat
monsters.
fucks, dude.
A lot of
You
It's
mean these are
disgusting,
the people
actually.
serving our country?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Fuck
And
it.
like, we're at a place now where the military has become so fucking. I think I talked about this last Sunday, but it's become a place where people join for themselves. You know what I mean? Not for them. And
Oh,
I,
2000%, dude.
I was seeing these TikToks, right? And people were asking, like, they're walking around their unit asking, "Yo, why'd you join the military? Why'd you join the military? Why'd you join the military?" And all these people had these different reasons. You know, college. I was homeless. I needed money. One of them hit him with the "my dad made
Serve
me."
my
You know what I mean?
country. Oh no, even worse.
And not a single one of them said to defend my country. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna act like I'm above that, bro. If somebody asked me, I'd tell them straight up. I was a loser. I had no direction, man. I needed some shit to figure myself out. But because of that mindset, people the standards have just dropped so much, dude. And like there's just like why the old heads in the army are always talking about, oh, back in my army, right? But during the GWAT days, the global war on terrorism, during the fucking like post 9/11, these motherfuckers were enlisting to protect their country, dude. These people were fucking, granted, it was brainwash, right? Because
They were still doing it for the love of the game, though.
you know what I'm saying? These kids are joining to go fucking kill some jihadis and join some jihadi warfare, man. Go fucking kill these people, and like it was all orchestrated by our own government. But I digress, right?
Versus now,
It's
it's, oh, they told me if I stay in for 20 years, I get to retire and have
yeah,
benefits.
exactly.
Which
And
I ain't
again,
hating
I'm not
on,
gonna
that's
act like
real.
I love that because that's my
That's
mindset
fire.
currently, right?
Yeah.
And if I were asked to go fucking fight for my country, I'd be, I'd be a little upset, but it's what I signed up for. And I, as a man, am disciplined enough to hold myself to a standard to know that I'm not, bro. I genuinely take pride in putting on my uniform every day.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
You know what
So
I'm
it
saying?
should
Like
be.
I'll look in the mirror and be like, hell yeah, got that shit on, But a lot of these motherfuckers don't have that pride. That's why they're fucking overweight and fat. And like nothing disgusts me more than seeing a fat service member, bro. That shit genuinely triggers me. because that's a representation of me and what I stand for, you know? Regardless of the fact that I'm not real fucking hua patriotic boy, you know? It's still like it's still the organization that I'm a part of.
Yeah, you know, that's a
A chain
extension
is
of you in a sense.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
like the
Exactly.
chain is only as weak as his weakest link. I can't remember the
Case in
fucking.
point, bro. Case in
Chain's only
point.
strong as its weakest link.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And you know what I'm saying? I would like it's corny to say, right? But ultimately, the people that you work with on a day-to-day basis and the people you see walking around base in uniform, these are people that you'd have to say, I'm willing to die for. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to die protecting. And I'm willing to place my life in their hands and trust that they'll protect me, right? And when I see a fat fuck walking out of the shopette with an extra large fucking lemonade, strawberry lemonade, I don't feel protected. I don't feel as if I feel comfortable with my life in their hands, dude.
No, that's
And that's
real.
just
That's like,
that's the dangers of this profession,
imagine you
especially with
get the
the
big ass, fat ass, donut eating police officer to your domestic abuse call. You're going to sit there and be like, no, nigga, I
quite
need
literally.
help.
Yeah, bro. And then like it's like those videos, right? Where
Yeah.
like these fat fucking cops, they get forced into a foot race and they're getting gapped,
Fucking dusted.
dusted,
Thank God
bro.
Glenn County Police is so unathletic.
Yo, by
Yeah,
somebody who eats hot Cheetos and drinks Fago all day, regardless. Like, they're not
yeah,
out here
bro.
like a pinnacle of fucking health themselves. And
Nuts
these are the people
whatsoever.
dusting them.
I just faced
Yeah,
3
bro.
blunts and my lungs were better than yours. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
Just so
dude.
good.
That shit is like
And
that's
then
just the
outrage you.
reality. And that's just like in my eyes, that just comes down to pride in yourself as a man. And I feel like this generation's kind of losing sight of that. Losing
Well,
sight
bro,
of
there is so much destruction of the image of men. You know what I
for
mean? And
sure,
so
for
much
sure.
demonization of strong men in society that I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like
for sure.
people that
Toxic
didn't have
masculinity.
people that didn't have that strong man around, right, as a kid,
Mhm.
a lot of people got lost, dude.
Oh yeah. And
Me and my coworker
like
Tyler have been talking
just
about this. Um, it's also like, you know, we've come to a day and age where men are just simply tired of courting women. Like, you know, the little gif
for
of the
sure.
jester dancing in front of the fucking shorty sitting on the throne. It's literally
Oh
what it
yeah.
feels like to talk to almost any woman nowadays.
And I'll be so honest, bro. Like I would get like crucified by a lot of people for saying this, but I know that you guys are gonna agree with me, right? But the feminist movement has done so
Oh,
much damage
bullshit.
to our society, bro, as
Yep.
a whole. And like it's made this fucking Western culture such a fucking joke. It like for us to try and have to cater to a woman, right? And like the woman's meant to be like, bro, check it out, right? I love women. I love that women have voices. I love that women feel empowered sometimes, right? But for us to sit here and buy into their fucking delusion of they're the prize and they deserve for us to bend over backwards for them. And if they choose that they're unhappy, they can have half of everything that we have.
Yeah, there's
Fuck
no
no, dude.
balance there.
Fuck
There's
that,
no
dude.
balance.
Fuck that. Because at the end of the day, men are the driving force of society. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to act like there's not the oddball woman who's out there doing blue collar, who's also a driving force in our society. Because again, I say, I respect them and they do exist. But the average woman in our generation is
Oh,
not
dude.
doing that, dude. They're not fucking doing that.
See, they aren't. See, but it's not even just that, right? Like, I think the bigger problem is like they aren't even living up to what's needed from women in society anymore.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Right?
And
So,
that
like, a
comes from the
lot of
whole
the
feminist
power,
movement.
dude, a lot of the power that women have is that ability to be able to come into a relationship, right, and be able to level that dude up by being able to be there for where they need him, right? But when it's just like, what do I get out of it, right? There's
Pussy.
no thought about leveling him up and being able to grow as a family unit.
Yeah. And it's getting to a point as in society where all a woman has to offer is her vagina. And
Yeah,
that is so
yeah,
fucking sad because
Yeah.
like
yeah, man.
Men aren't doing it any
I
better. I mean, like, let's
I'm
Bro,
be
telling
real.
I am, and that's why I've been celibate for 2 years, bro.
for
I
sure,
I'm
dude. And
mean,
not.
like
It's
bro.
not worth it for me. Not a
I,
single
I,
female I've ran into or interacted with out here has been like, why? Why would I? Why? So I can start spending the money that I have and fucking up these plans for whatever what they want and start doing dumb shit. That's like half the time, bro. Yeah, they aren't. If you're not gonna level up the situation, I'm not fucking investing time, money, anything like
exactly.
that into people anymore.
And that's where Western women have fallen short in recent years. You know what I mean? Because like, bro, I saw it in Korea. These Korean wives were doing fucking what? That's why all these soldiers and all these fucking contractors, they're all married to these Asian women because the Asian women will be great homemakers, you know? And
Hmm.
I guess I'm old school in a way that I want a homemaker. And like if we like I as a man, I find joy and content and value in providing for those that I love. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that's
Yep.
just something that's how I feel. And if I can do that and I can provide for that, then I would want my woman to be like in a sense, right? What's the word I'm looking for? It's submissive to the marriage and submissive to me, not in a sexual sense, right? But in a way that she trusts me to take care of our family and our home, so that she can hold it down at home. Because at the end of the day, bro, you come home from a long day of work, dealing with a lot of bullshit. If you come home to a woman that has the house clean, food ready for you, and comforting words for you, you know what I'm saying? There's some arms to fall into. That's fucking that would that would just drive me to keep going out there and dealing with the bullshit for her, for my
Dude, yeah,
kids.
the family unit is just completely corrupted now. It's
Exactly,
completely
because now
fucked.
these like these girls, it's hard to call them women, right? But these girls are fucking prioritize. They get so delusional, and it's just so like their minds are just intoxicated by social media and pop culture as a whole,
Yeah,
right?
come on.
Excuse me.
Because
Yours is too, bruv. You be jacking your meat to all of it.
absolutely, absolutely. And I'm not gonna act like I'm above it though. I'm
We
not.
all there.
But
We
you
all
know what I'm
here, I
saying?
mean.
I'm like, I'm not fucking pretending like I'm better than anybody. This is just issues that I recognize and issues that
Yeah.
I feel
Awarenesses.
because you know what I'm saying? And it's become so fucking, it's become so superficial in a sense of if you're 5'10" or below, girls won't even look at you. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck does my height matter? Maybe this is short man syndrome coming out, right? But I'm 5'8",
Bro,
dude. I'm not short. I'm not short.
hey, we're like the same height.
Yeah, I'm just not fucking tall.
I'm
And
actually
like, bitch,
5'10".
you're not.
No way.
But like, check it out, right?
That's what my
If I'm
ID
talking to this
says,
five,
bitch.
I'm talking. Yeah, mine too. Actually, I told him I'm 5'10" too. I'm
Bro,
talking
I'm
to
just
like
gonna
this.
tell him
I'm
I'm
talking to
6'2" next
a
time.
5 foot little ass girl, right? I'm taller than you, bitch. You're 5 foot. I'm 8 inches above you. That's almost a full ruler. Why do I got to be a little taller than that? You know?
Shit. I remember
I don't know
that
how
feeling.
I don't know how I got on this tangent, but that's just how I feel. That's just how
Daily
I feel, dude.
routines, bro.
So I think that online I've maybe dealt with more discrimination on that, but in person, bro, not much like height discrimination. I don't feel like I've dealt with too much in
Yeah, bro.
the time. I don't know.
Dude, my first kiss
Also,
was a tree, bro. I cut down a big ass tree.
that boy shot that tree, huh?
I had to get on a stool to kiss her.
So
What?
Damn.
that's insane.
I didn't actually. I
Recently,
was
for
just
me,
being.
bro, it's my homies that I'm around here. These boys 6 foot plus, you know. So we go out and bitches just are giving
I
them the
can dig it.
attention. You know what I'm saying? But on top of that, also, this is boy math, right? This is boy math that I deal with, and I'm very, very a victim of. I don't want a girl that's going to be out there and doing all this fucking hunting and being exactly what I'm saying I hate. Yet that's where I'm looking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something that I need to find within myself to figure out because like I just don't know what else to do. Every good relationship I've had has been from a girl I've met through a friend. You know what I'm saying? that's where all my good relationships have come from. It come from mutual
Mutual
friends.
friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
But I think that there's a really great way to kind of segment this back into a little bit of what I wanted to touch on. I never really got to speak much earlier when we were kind of talking about the breaking of the cycles, right? And what I think one of the most important things for this, and this is, I'll tie it all together, right? Or is being able to create consistent things to be able to do in place of what was being done there, right? And then that falls back into this
Can you
spot.
elaborate on that? Can you elaborate on that? Like
Yeah,
repeat
so
that one more
like being
time? 'Cause
able
I
to
think I got kind of lost.
taking more time to get into like a real hobby or something that's actually going to be a productive way to spend your time instead of whatever the
Mhm.
previous negative thing was, right?
Right, right, right. I
Hello.
can, yeah, I get that.
Yep. And then the way to be able to bring that into what we were just talking about truly is like, bro, the way that you'd really meet people outside of these clubs and other stuff like that is finding consistent hobbies. And there's groups, bro, there's hobby groups doing things constantly, all the time, whether
Yeah,
it's running, whether it's any of these
for
things, right?
sure.
There's all types
Hobby
of
100%,
horsing, dude.
yeah, and that is where you're going to find the best people that are going to be somebody, you know what I mean? That's a girl who's going out, and her idea of going out isn't going out and hitting the club on the weekends. She's going out and doing her whatever, you
Run
know, the
club,
run
right,
club,
right, for sure.
yeah, the hiking group, the whatever, right?
bitches going to
And
pottery
that's,
class.
Yeah,
yeah, bro,
absolutely,
like that
absolutely.
so. Bro, go find yourself a Pilates place. You're going to find some fine, you're going to find
Yeah,
some
Some
fine
Hez.
shit at a Pilates spot, and she's obviously cares about her health.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
for
you have
sure,
to
dude.
find stuff that you think that is going to be some of your main defining factors, and then go to spots that have people like that that would frequent
Doing that
that.
shit. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So,
Just finding
I mean,
like-minded characters.
I completely agree with that, and those are thoughts that I've had as well. And like, so I've, bro, like since I've started like actually putting a lot of effort into running, a run group has been something that I've wanted to join for a minute. You know what I mean? But I'm just not fucking. I'm insecure in my running. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm finna get there gassed. You know what I'm saying? Finna be at the back getting gapped. And but there are other things. I mean, like, so obviously, like fucking hiking. I know y'all boys know we love that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. But
Hiking is my shit, bro.
yeah,
Fucking
bro,
love it.
when we were in Colorado, man, we were out there.
You love some hiking.
Just
I'm
random
literally
shit.
going on a hike later today.
Cool on a picture. Let's go fucking pull over somewhere and go figure
Yeah,
out how
bro.
to get up there.
But
Yeah.
like, I don't think that. I mean, I haven't looked into it a whole lot, but like the trails around here are just kind of fucking buns. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
another reason I said that Korea was very detrimental to my personal life. There wasn't shit for me to get into in Korea, dude. You know what I'm saying? And but I'm here now, and I'm putting that effort in actually. So I think next week or the week after that, I have a 4 day weekend. I was actually going to drive down to Wilmington and go take some surf lessons, dude.
Oh, fuck
Dude,
yeah.
Just
yes, bro. Yes. So that's
that's my plan,
something
man.
that's a huge bro. You start getting decent at it, we gonna go surfing in Florida, Bubba.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm down for sure,
That's
man.
a
And like, I
huge
mean,
thing for me. Oh man,
I,
I want to get into surfing so much, like so bad, bro. I did it just barely when I was younger, and that
yeah,
was when
same. I did it a couple times, but like, again, never really got into
dude,
what I love, bro. I love snowboarding, dude. I fucking love it. Like,
word,
it's such a like to me, it's such a shame that I never really got into it a whole lot
Colorado.
in Colorado, man, because like that's the place to go skiing. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah,
snowboarding. But
yeah,
motherfucker was too broke and too caught up on the raves to go snowboarding.
yeah. Me too. Me
There's
too. I feel bad. I went one time, and it wasn't like a good powder day, and I busted my ass so many fucking times. I was
Dude,
like, dude, this.
I love it, dude. Snowboarding is so much fun, and like I'm trying to get that snowboard drip where I'm looking good out there, you know what I'm saying? And I want to start getting clips of me doing some fire ass tricks because bro, I'm 23, you know? Like I'm about to be 24 in June. It's like I ain't getting any younger, my boy, dude.
You know what happened? You gonna be sitting here like me, like, damn, bro, I'm 28 in July. What the fuck? Like, but
Yeah,
no, just
bro.
20.
So,
I was 24 doing all this shit. All the shit we're just talking about, Colorado. Like,
yeah, dude. So hopefully hopefully I can fucking get into some shit. That's my plan, man. That's my plan. So I really like that you brought that up because that's great. And
Yeah, man.
I've been wanting to get back into reading. I've strayed so far away from reading, dude. But like there was once upon a time where like my nose would be stuck in books, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Bahrain
That's where I
days.
fell for. That's where Bahrain. Even before then, dude. When I was in school, bro, I was a bookworm, man. Fucking
Dude, I was big when I was in school in the books. Not as much once I had
yeah,
gotten
dude.
out, but
Because also on top of that, my nana was always taking away my fucking electronics. So,
me too.
so how do I entertain myself, bro? I read like a motherfucker,
Then
dude.
you try to play kendama and this shit's too loud.
Oh my god, dude! Don't even get me fucking started, bro. That shit used to piss me off. My god, dude. And then she took away my kendama. Like, how fucking dare you? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my goodness.
Hey,
Love
yo.
my grand. I love my nana though.
All things. God
Yeah,
damn.
bro.
Y'all
I
ready
don't
for a good one?
care.
Y'all
I
ready for
don't
a good one?
care.
I have a good one. It's about flow, kendama, meditation, cold exposure, all that kinds of stuff. The natural
Dude,
highs, presence and
when
awareness and
man,
stuff.
I really hate that, but I've gotten so far away from the cold exposure, dude. But in Colorado, man, I was on
Dude,
that shit, dude.
you
And I was
Yeah,
so
bro,
definitely
I
good
gotta,
love
about it,
it.
bro.
you
I
gotta
I as well
blast
have
on that
strayed a little
shit.
bit away, but it's one of my favorite fucking things, bro. That's still on my bucket list. I need to go on a Wim Hof retreat before he passes away.
Oh yeah,
Wim
yeah,
Hof
Or
is
dude.
that man.
he doesn't want to continue hosting them. You know what I mean? He's in his 60s already, I think, right now. So I got to go within
Jeez.
the next couple of years
I,
for sure,
I have
too.
his book, dude.
Oh, you got. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
that's
you
it.
do have that. I remember. It's a picture of his frozen ass face on the cover.
Yeah, dude. And I never finished it. I had started it, and then I went to basic training, and I have not picked it up, and I completely forgot what the fuck was in that book,
I
dude. But
still got your book, the Four
you talking about the
Agreements.
Four Agreements?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Classic, man. Classic.
Fucking. We read that Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, or I read that from you as well. It was really good.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking.
So yeah. I got to get
Yeah.
back into reading, man. I have a couple books on my nightstand right now. I have The Art of War right here and Into the Wild. Those are two books that like I've been trying to read, but dude, my fucking attention span is so fucking cooked, dude.
Dude, you can thank fucking
TikTok
phones for
brain.
that. TikTok
Yeah, dude.
brain.
Yeah,
So
TikTok brain kicks
TikTok
in
brain is
bad.
fucking bad, bro. It's been
so what
really
I
bad recently.
me too, dude. Because especially like being alone so much, right? I'll just like resort to just going on my phone. You know what I'm saying? And especially days at work when like there's nothing to do, boom, just start scrolling and like. So I've been trying to replace that with like productive things to do at work, and I've been doing decently at that. But I get home, man, and it's just fucking not. So something I've been doing, which ties into what we talked about earlier, the fitness, is I'll just go on walks, man. And I used to go on walks and take headphones, right, and listen to music. But now, dude, I just immerse myself in what's out there and in my thoughts, right? Because
Yes.
one, I take those walks to finalize my steps and get my steps in. And on two, it's just so nice to get away from everything, dude. And like I just think. And obviously,
Yeah.
sometimes too much thinking is not a good thing. But sometimes, in the same essence, not enough thinking is just as detrimental, if not worse.
Yeah.
So
It's that
I feel
polarity
like it
thing I keep bringing up.
destroys a
yeah,
lot of our brain, dude. It's made so
yeah,
many people lack creativity so much so, I think.
yeah,
It's like, bro, when do you really think of new thought? Like, bro, most people normally call them like the shower thoughts, but it's like you got to think about that. Like, other than when you're in the shower, unless you're one of the people who's playing music real loud while they're in the shower too, how often, other than when you're in the shower, are you just sitting there staring at a wall without other much, stimulation happening? Bro? You're not. At least I don't think so. I know I'm not. Shit. And I know a
yeah.
majority of people don't take that time to really just sit there with themselves. There's always a music or a reel or something, and
Something.
that's
Yeah,
that's a big one. Yeah, like kind of call back to the very beginning, dude. I think an addiction to just stimulation in general
Yeah.
is
Stimuli.
is big in society. They pushed like a need for it. Fuck, dude, I'm wearing glasses right now that I can talk to you guys on and listen to music through. Glasses. Like, come on, man.
Here I thought we
You
were gonna have
gotta
flying
really,
cars.
right?
By this point, but we do
If
got
we
glasses.
we could have had flying cars, if we're being honest. We probably could have had
Yeah.
a lot of things.
If they didn't kill off Nikola
Technology,
Tesla.
technology could have been a lot further along if there wasn't people suppressing it. So
Yeah,
For sure.
dude.
That comes down to the elites of this world and country.
Hey, I don't care what they have to say about me. Go to war for Israel. But all right, hold up. Another fun part
Donald Trump.
to wrap
If you
that.
can hear me.
I was about to...
Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me.
How long have you been with her?
All right. Outro segment. You boys ready?
Yeah.
Bubba.
Let's just fucking let's literally, this is basically the list. Meditation, breath work, cold exposure, fasting, sauna, exercise, of course, including supplements and those adaptogenic mushrooms and stuff. All that kind of stuff. Like, let's just start. We can start with who hasn't talked in a while.
Danny.
Danny, you've been elected by Sir Trump. If you were to say things for you personally, like that are gonna do the best for you, what would you say? What do you think's gonna be your best kickers?
My best kickers? Like in
Your
what
best
sense?
kickers of like evolving your body, evolving your mind. Like, what do you think you're gonna put your energy towards that's gonna bring you to the next level?
I don't know. I think definitely losing weight and all that. I mean, I've never really just like been unconfident, but I think just having like a better body and just, feeling better will just boost it a little more. Oh
Okay.
no, yeah, I feel like just pushing myself to lose the weight would just open up a lot of opportunities, Like there has been times where I've been like I've wondered where I'm like, damn, I would look good in this shirt if I was just a little skinnier, or like, damn, I'd wear that if I was skinnier, little stuff like that. And I feel like that's been like a big motivation to keep going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And yours is definitely like exercise. Like, you want to get this body fucking moving. We want to be fucking.
No, yeah.
We want to
No,
be
yeah,
free.
the big goal is even after Dance Fest, because like that was the main motivation, was like to lose a certain amount of weight for Dance Fest. But like after that, I want to do like a body reconstruction, and I want to put on muscle. I want to get yoked. Like not just
Yeah.
after losing the weight.
David
I'd,
Goggins.
I'd want to put on muscle.
Goggins ain't even yoked, bro. Goggins is just shredded. Goggins is
Goggins is
lean.
a beast.
He's
Yeah.
just
Speaking of
that boy
David
just
Goggins,
lean as
he
fuck.
David Goggins re-enlisted in the Air Force.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
Interesting. He's
Yeah,
back from
bro.
retirement. All right,
I
let's
just,
start
I don't
with
know. I just
Justin
personally
next.
can't even fully understand that.
Justin
And
next.
that's why he's different than the average man, man.
I for sure. I'm just the current timing, right?
Yeah.
I just don't see it as like very, I don't know. I don't see the motivation. Maybe I guess that's it. I just don't see what could motivate that
it's
in the
one of the
current.
few places where he fell short in life. You know what I'm saying? Because he failed some type of school. I forget what it was, but he failed the school, and that's where he went back, and now he's doing it again at the age of 50 something. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, dude was a SEAL.
Yeah, dude, he passed almost every I think every single special forces like testing there was. Ranger school, SF selection, SEAL,
Jeez.
Air
Shout
Force,
out
like
Goggins.
PJs and shit. Yeah, dude. But back off Goggins, you know what I'm saying? Not to overshadow my boy Danny, man. I'm really proud of you for making those decisions for yourself, dude. That's awesome.
Hey,
And
Danny
like,
might just be the future Goggins. Shit.
and
He's
like I
gonna
was
get
saying, like,
addicted to that shit.
it's really triggering to see people that don't care about their health and shit, you know what I'm saying? And especially if it's somebody that you love, And sometimes it's really hard to have that conversation with somebody because of how seemingly sensitive of a subject it is. God damn, I'm getting my ass whooped in this game. But you know, to see that like you're able to recognize how you could be doing better and choose to do better, it's really admirable, man. And I salute you for that.
Oh, yeah,
God
thank
bless
you.
America. Hey, look who's back again for the closing.
And there's nothing wrong with
Oh
you know what
wow.
I'm saying? People like there's so much respect to be shown to people who care enough to make that change in their life, because there's so many people who are so content, not even content, right? But not willing to take
Comfortable.
that step to improve. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're like, fuck it, man. I'll just keep eating and buying 2 plane tickets on a plane. You know what I'm saying? Especially in America, dude. When I had come back to America after like
Ooh.
a long time, when I was in Germany, actually, I'd come to America, bro. The amount of like obese people, not to say that you're obese, right? Because you're clearly not. You're a beast, but
Hey,
Nah, but
it was eye opening, man, to see the amount of fucking fat people in this state, in this country,
America
and
does
how
not give a shit.
normalized it is, dude. Bro, all America cares about is money. This
That
fucking
body
country's,
positivity movement.
yeah, but this country runs on money, and like the reason it's so quote unquote great, right, is because of the allure of the fact that anybody can get rich, and people come here to get rich, and a lot of people achieve that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of immigrants do. Immigrants run this country, but that's the reason, like, in the sense that it's so great, right? That's the same reason why this country is failing in so many aspects. That's why the Luigi Mangionis of this world are fucking doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
That's why someone does something like that and it's celebrated by a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. Because these corporations are fucking capitalizing on us. That's why fast food
And
is so
then
regulated.
now they're capitalizing on people doing Ozempic, man.
Oh yeah,
Um,
dude. Oh yeah, man.
Like Maya
Fucking
brought up a
Hollywood.
good point. She said that like we were in like kind of a body positivity era now, or we were in there for a while, but like now people aren't accepting their bodies, and they're doing things like Ozempic, you know,
Shortcuts.
Bet they did this shit
Yeah,
on
dude.
purpose for real. They
shortcuts.
made us think
Exactly.
we're all
Bro, they got
perfect.
Serena
Woo.
Williams endorsing this shit, dog. This shit's so
Yeah, dude.
crazy. That
Now
Roe
they've created
bullshit,
a
it's
whole
literally
new
just
thing to make
Ozempic
money
under a
from.
different title. I've looked into the entire company. That shit's so bullshit.
GLP-1s.
Well, wow, man, y'all went for a long time today, man. Me and Maya, we ended up going to the park.
Pork.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those
Yeah,
things
bro.
I was gonna say. Nature, bro. Nature is
Mm-hmm.
easily a second or third biggest proponent in sobriety and, just being, present, because my segment 4 is called natural highs, presence, and awareness. All right, like that's like 3 things you need to avoid, unnatural highs and addictions. Fucking,
Yeah.
that's 3 big ones. Like you gain all of that from doing things like, cold exposure, meditation, breath work, fucking not eating shitty foods that completely cloud your brain and your mind, not drinking fucking black ass soda that's carbonating and cancerifying your entire insides. Fucking like all of
Yeah.
these things are things that I'd
You
like
really
to
do,
incorporate in my life very soon.
Yeah.
You
You really
again,
do reach a higher state of consciousness, man, when you're just eating the right way,
dude.
Yeah, for
And
sure,
just
dude.
If you eat your
thinking
veggies,
about
bro, eat your
how
fucking veggies.
people who grow up just eating a healthy diet, man, are put in such an advantage in life from the start, and man, I don't know, dude. It's something I definitely want to do a little bit better, one day, when I have a family. And my parents tried their best, but yeah, there were some times where definitely, we could have had a healthier diet, man. And that's another thing about growing up in the South, dude. We're taught that like even this is
Sweet
healthy,
tea, Bubba.
really ain't. Yeah, like the healthiest food we got is soul food, bro, and it ain't
The
even that
healthiest thing
healthy.
about it is that somebody cooked it at home instead of somebody buying it.
Exactly. The
That's the
healthiest thing about
healthiest
it is it's
thing.
made from real ingredients, but it's still loaded with salt and seasoning and all that, and it's delicious. Don't get me wrong.
Cap Jones,
But
you
yeah,
just grew
bro.
up in a family that knew how to cook. Them Southern white moms do not be adding all them additives and shit. They be like, here you go, Brussels sprouts and
Yeah.
asparagus and your chicken, Tommy.
Dog, I didn't.
Well, and
nah,
the green beans, bro. You can't forget the green
I wouldn't
beans.
say all that. I mean,
Canned
I just
beans.
my mom was a decent cook. You know, my nanny is a great cook. Her mom was a great cook. My
Well, it
dad's
sounds like
mom
they
was
knew
a
how to
pretty good
season their
cook.
stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah.
That would be a big difference. Like seasoning, honestly, can change your diet so much.
Mm-hmm. But then
Sodium, man.
I grew up at my friend's house too, like eating his mom's cooking, and you know, they grew up on a farm, so it was a lot of like farm fresh stuff, and you know, maybe not as much seasoning. But yeah, it's definitely important, and yeah, I'll tell you what, man, I've really been put on some new foods, like in the past, like since I've become an adult, I've exposed myself to a bunch of different kind of foods, and something I'm grateful for, man. It's something that, yeah, that's something that Maya's really contributed a lot, like in my life, eating different kind of foods. I would even give a little shout out to Costa, man, introducing me to some different, Asian foods as well, man. I still think about that bulgogi hot pot, bro, that we ate at 1 a.m. one night, dude.
Bro,
And
so I
could
figured
never
out
find
what
that place
that
after
rice
that.
cake. Yeah, me neither, dude. I tried too, but
Yeah, that
I think I
rice
told you
cake.
about it. Yeah, you know what it's called?
Yes. I don't know, but I think I got some in my fridge right now. To be honest, in my freezer.
It's tteokbokki, bro. It's Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
know how to pronounce it, but
Tteokbokki.
yeah, we get I can buy it at this pho place that's in town, dude. And they also have this Thai tea there, bro. It's just delicious.
Shit's
bro.
gas, dude. It got the
Thai
bubbles in
tea
it and
is
shit.
so good, bro. It's orange, the orange stuff. Oh, it's so good.
God, dog. All right, boys. Is there anything we'd like to add? You know, some last future dreams, whatever the fuck, before we cut the stream.
Just, man, I give a shout out to our boy Andrew, man. You know, I know.
Yes, shout out fucking Andrew, bro. Let's
Addiction
go ahead and get
is
his
something
picture
that,
up on here.
unfortunately, took his life from us, and I think it's important that we're doing this now, just talking about it, man, because this is something that maybe could have helped him get through his issues. But yeah, man, I don't want to place that blame on ourselves or anything, saying we got to this late, but I just think it's worth giving him a mention, and
definitely,
he's a great dude.
He's easily one of my biggest motivations in this shit. Like, and like it goes without saying that losing a best friend will make you change your fucking life. Like in this, I might not be an instantaneous kind of thing, but that man definitely put a hammer towards the nail in my journey here. And this all started with him. It was just me and Andrew in the fucking Discord. Chilling, just me and him. Half the time, before we ever started getting anybody in here. I think Justin was another one of the first, and then, everybody started trickling in, and this has become what it's become. I'm very happy to say that, we're doing this shit, and that's mainly it. It's in Andrew's name for me.
And I just know, like, at his funeral, man, we were talking about how, it's just nice to get together every week. Now with Sunday service, because, at the funeral, we were just talking about how we just need to spend the time with each other more, man, because nothing's guaranteed, so.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Andrew. Long live the king.
Good thing we got going here, man. We're going to continue doing it and be consistent with it, so. And then, hey, man, if anybody got any tips for us or
feedback,
suggestions, things you want to see,
we working on webcams. We're working on better communication and getting a stage set up so it's not super unplanned. But like just doing things in the Discord, it's really hard,
Yeah, I was sitting in my closet earlier, man.
Let's channel our energy into creation. Podcasting, art, movement, flow, whatever you do, come share it with us here on the Sunday Service Spacecast.
That's right, man. That's right.
Man. Everybody say bye real quick. We about to cut this
Have a good
shit.
Sunday, man. Yeah. We'll have some good things coming up soon, man.
Happy Sunday service.
Sure, happy
All
Sunday
right,
service,
Sunday
please.
service, everyone. Yes,
Beautiful,
sir.
beautiful days ahead. We'll see you next Sunday.
All right. Good talk.
Peace.
This is the emergency broadcast system. Stand by for further information.